tell you what, man, it does not get any better than this. Tony Bruno, Harry Mays, Sirius XM, the Dan Patrick Channel.
I know him.
The godfather of sports radio.
These guys are the greatest tag team since the British Bulldogs. What do you think, Chaz?
I think that's a really dated reference. That's what that is. Don't be a knucklehead, all right? If you're going to do that, talk about Miss Robin, call her Miss Elizabeth, you're a Georgia animal still. Hey, Tony.
This is the Tony Bruno Show.
And now here's Tony Bruno. Beautiful.
You are looking live.
Yes, you are into the South Philadelphia wine cellar on a beautiful, actually, we got some storm warnings here. Yeah, it's not beautiful right now, Tone. It's Tony Bruno, Harry Mays, dark clouds over the northeastern part of the United States. Thunderstorms. Maybe some hail. Maybe some asteroids coming in. Not before the weekend. I want to at least get through Friday of our first week here on Sirius XM 211. Dan Patrick Channel, Tony Bruno, Harry Mays, Miss Robin, Joe and Joe in here. The muffins are made. Harry had one of the muffins, the keto muffins. What did you think, Harry? Overhyped, or did they live up to the hype?
No, they totally lived up to the hype.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Miss Robin and I were baking last night.
Yeah.
Not the kind of baking that you like to enjoy, or some others may who are out there.
I go in the garage for that.
You have an oven in the garage?
No, yeah, right.
We got an unbelievable show coming up today. We thank everybody for joining us and telling your friends. As you know, the SiriusXM app is now open for free through May 15th. So all you got to do is download the app if you don't already have Sirius Satellite Radio, and you get to listen to this show and everything else on Sirius. Howard Stern with a 2-hour interview with what's-his-face yesterday? That guy Tom Brady?
Yeah.
The other TB, TB12, not TB67, Tony Bruno, or TB Terry Bradshaw, or the biggest TB, tuberculosis, which we don't really want to associate ourselves with.
Now, what is 6'7"? TB
It's my age.
Oh, okay. All right.
See, TB12, that's not his age.
No,
that's his
I know.
number. Yeah. We got a great show today. And I hate to say that because the show's just starting and we don't know what's going to transpire. But we are booking the great guests. Harry Mays booking, Miss Robin booking, I'm booking, and the whole group is booking. Adam Schefter is going to join us in this hour. And Adam and I go way, way back. And he's been saying a lot of controversial things on Twitter.
Yeah, he's been kind of a Debbie Downer as far as the sports, starting up again at some point.
Debbie Downer?
I'll tell you, he's really, like, I get depressed when I read some of his tweets.
I don't. I love Adam Schefter.
I know. So do I.
I think he's taking this whole pandemic a lot more serious. And again, we're supposed to take it seriously.
I'm taking it seriously. This is the only place I go.
Exactly. This is the only place I go here, but I live here. I only have to go down 2 flights of steps. And even that's a risk right now. So anyway, Adam Schefter's going to join us. We'll get into some of that stuff. I don't want to rip the guy, but we definitely will address the important issues of the day, including the National Football League and the draft coming up in a couple of weeks, actually 2 weeks from today. The NFL draft virtually will be done. What else do we have? We've got Jim Nance. Now, Jim's been making he's been making the rounds the last couple of days because he is the voice of the Masters. He's the voice of CBS Sports. College basketball, there was no championship game. But Jim, a great guy. He's one of the great, and a lot of people who make fun of broadcasters, I never got this. Maybe because I'm a broadcaster and I've been around a long time. When you hear the Joe Buck, I don't like Joe Buck. He roots against my team. And they do that a lot here in Philly sports radio.
Right.
Oh, I hate Joe Buck.
Well, that's unique, though. Buck gets a lot of hate, and I don't
everywhere
understand
he goes.
why.
Yeah, and I know Joe really, really well. And the funniest thing about the Joe Buck hate is that he gets the same hate in every city.
Yeah, it's not just Philly.
Right.
Yeah.
But everybody, when he does a game, the people in the city that are getting the game think that Joe Buck is against their team, which is absolute idiocy. Jim Nance, another one of the Hall of Fame great broadcasters for almost into his 4th decade at CBS, does an amazing job. And we'll talk to him about the Masters and everything else going on. He lives on Pebble Beach, where they don't play the Masters, but they do play U.S. Opens, and they play, obviously, the Crosby-Clambake.
The AT&T. Yeah.
Well, it used to be the Crosby.
Right. Crosby-Clambake.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was I think that went into the 80s.
It's great stuff.
Yeah.
We had all the great ones, the Bobby Goldsboro, Greater Greensboro Open. Yeah, we used to know what those were.
There was a Glenn Campbell, too. You were talking about Glenn Campbell yesterday.
I think it was Glenn Campbell had the Phoenix
Open, I think, yeah.
Now it's the Waste Management, where everybody's wasted and the women are walking around, and it's a circus.
Right.
It wasn't like that when Glenn Campbell was hosting.
There was no stadium around the 16th hole.
So anyway, we got that with Jim Nance coming up. And then later on, one of the greatest coaches in college basketball, certainly in this era, and certainly is soon to be a Hall of Fame. He's going to be a Hall of Fame coach when his career is over.
He's got 2 national championships.
He also has numbers are pretty good. Wins and losses. Mm-hmm. Do you see his winning percentage overall as a coach? I wrote it down here. It's just staggering how great of a coach Jay Wright is. It's not because I'm a Jay Wright, because I'm not a Villanova guy.
No, I don't root for Villanova. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Temple guy too, like Harry is, but there's no one who can deny the greatness of Jay Wright. 457 wins, 177 losses.
Now, what's that percentage?
I don't know. I'm bad at math, so don't ask me.
All right, I'll figure it out after you give me the numbers.
Now, remember, this isn't all at Villanova.
No,
he's been 19.
He was at Hofstra.
Hofstra before that. And, you know, he's in the same situation as all great coaches at big-time and small-time programs. Mm-hmm. No organized workouts. You know, recruiting, you have to do it over the phone.
Yeah.
And so that world, as everything else, has changed for everybody. And so we'll talk to Jay Wright, who has the best small forward in the NBA winner, Saddiq Bey.
Yeah, he's going to the NBA.
Yeah. And he won the Dr. J Award, which made him the best small forward heading into the NBA draft. And Jay, year after year, puts guys into the NBA. Mm-hmm. And now for Saddiq Bey, you know, he can't even go work out for anybody. And the draft is coming up on June 25th. Do you think they postponed the NBA draft, Harry? Do they go along with it? Because the NFL is going to do theirs.
Yeah, but the NFL season isn't going on right now and being postponed. Like the NBA, they want to eventually get their playoffs at least underway at some point. So do they do the draft before the playoffs? Do they do the draft maybe during the play? At the end of June, maybe we have basketball in Las Vegas. You know, they were saying about them all going to Vegas, right?
And that's the only reason why they would postpone it, as you mentioned, if they do start playing basketball again.
Yeah.
Because they usually wait till after the season ends, and then they do the draft after that. But as you mentioned, if they start playing again in June and the draft, you're not going to have the draft. Maybe you do. Maybe you do have the draft during the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, like their draft comes right.
Will squeeze you in. That doesn't happen at this level, Harry. This is the big time. You know what I'm saying? And it is Holy Thirsty Thursday today, by the way. Passover, Thirsty Thursday. Can we call it Holy Thirsty Thursday? Maybe a bolt of lightning will come down here if I say something.
Well, what is
sacrilege.
Holy Thursday? I'm not a big, I'm not a Catholic. I'm not really super
Holy
religious.
Thursday is the lead up to
Good Friday.
Now, Good Friday, obviously, is when Jesus was nailed to the cross.
Right.
And that's when, as a kid growing up in the Catholic Church, you couldn't do anything. You couldn't have the radio on.
I don't understand that. Why would it be Good Friday? Wouldn't that be bad
Friday? Yeah, isn't
Friday?
that bad?
Who do I look like, the Pope?
Well, I mean, when is Ash Wednesday? Was that yesterday?
No, Ash Wednesday is the start of Lent. That's after Fat Tuesday.
Okay, so that's like 40 days ago, almost.
Yeah, remember, Fat Tuesday is not just a party day where you go out and get drunk and they have parades all over the place in bars and people go out another amateur hour drinking. Fat Tuesday means Mardi Gras is Fat Tuesday, which means it's the official last day to go out there and let it loose, because Lent starts on Wednesday,
and that's
which
when you
is
got to give
Ash
stuff
Wednesday.
Up. Okay,
you're
so
supposed to.
All right.
I give it up no matter what season it is.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean, Harry? I'm just a giver.
when anybody asks for it, you're giving it.
I'm never going to give you up.
He's real nice that way.
I'm never going to give Robin up. Never going to let you down. I'll Rick-roll you, but that's going to be after the show, unfortunately, because we can't do that during the broadcast today.
Right.
Well, thank everybody.
Well, you even tell me to get in the car.
Exactly. You know what today is also? I like to look at what happened on this date, mostly sports. Something happens on every date, but a musical thing today. We will tell you what song on this date, April 9th, 1988, was number one on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. It's a song that if it was recorded today would get no airtime and would be run off the air because of the violation of the Me Too movement.
Oh, it's politically incorrect.
Oh, politically incorrect out the wazoo.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you couldn't record this song.
Would you like me to play it right now?
I was in college at this time.
Give me a taste, because I love this song and I love this artist. And he's still going strong at age 70. Billy Ocean. Remember Billy Ocean?
Of course.
Listen to this song. I love the beginning of this. Get the car starting.
Oh, does this get out of my dreams, get into my car?
Exactly right. Back in the day,
not
baby.
even in the front seat. Get in the back seat.
Exactly. Baby. Oh, you get into my car. Yeah, you get into my car. Oh. Now here's the worst part about this. He didn't even have a 4-seater.
No, I know.
It's where you open the front door and then you had to move the front seat up to get into the car, which is even worse.
Yeah, that's a Porsche in the video.
Exactly.
I had a Ford Fiesta in 1988, dude. And I'll tell you what, if you could get the girl into the back seat of your Ford Fiesta,
Oh, that's impressive.
That was some.
Yeah.
That was some work.
See, modern day kids, they have no idea because, like, if you want to make out in the car in our day, you had the stick shift to worry about.
Right, I had a stick shift. Yeah.
You had, there were some way smaller cars. Nowadays, there's no stick shift. You can put the seats all the way down.
I was spitting some game back then,
sure.
man. You had to.
All right, here it comes. Get into my car. Biatch. We're fish now, you can say, right? And he was scheduled to be in Philly. He's still performing. He lives out in L.A. We'll try to get him on the show. He had a bunch of hits, Billy Ocean.
Yeah, all around that time frame. He was going to be at Parks, I think, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to be at Parks on June 12th, the night before my birthday on a Friday night.
You would have been there.
Absolutely, I would have been there.
All over that.
I'd be yelling to many women to get into the car. We're going up to Ben Salem, baby, at Parks Casino.
You might have to take a bus up there.
Wait, is this where he says get into the back seat?
Oh, he says it throughout the song. Come on, Robin, don't you remember the song?
I don't remember exactly, but
I don't know the lyrics.
It's the refrain.
There's all these old songs that you listen to and you're like, oh, that is so rude.
Yeah. No, I still think it's good.
No,
I'm not offended.
He had a couple of what do you call it, ballads that were really good. Remember Suddenly We're in Love?
No, I don't remember that one.
Oh, it's a great song.
Yeah.
See, here it goes. You got to wait for what we call the refrain. One more time, Billy. Come on. From Trinidad and Tobago,
Oh yeah,
and
right.
also,
right.
he is the most famous and has sold more albums than any black artist ever from England. Do you realize that? Because he's British and Trinidad and Tobago. Knowledge. That's great knowledge right there. You're not getting that anywhere else.
No.
You know what his real name is, Billy Ocean? Yeah.
Oh, that's a fake name?
Yeah. Imagine that.
I mean, sounds like he does mint days for MGK or something. You know what I'm saying?
His real name is Leslie Sebastian Charles.
That's a good name.
Yes.
Leslie?
Leslie
Sebastian
Charles.
I dropped a Leslie.
I would have Leslie, too.
Although the chick gets in the front seat, she doesn't get in the back seat.
Well, there is no back seat in that car.
Then it's a fraudulent video,
I know.
And he pulls up right in the front of the drive-in theater.
Yeah, very unrealistic.
That's like one of those cabriolet Porsches, with the top comes down. It's a nice car, but
the top comes down not just
My parents
on the
had
car,
that
but down in the car, too. Yeah.
My dad had one of those cars when I was born, a Porsche 911 Targa with a green,
nice.
that hunter green.
All right, enough of Billy Ocean. I mean,
right.
I can't get enough of him, though. I actually tweeted to him this morning.
Did he respond?
Giving him love.
Does he follow you?
No, he doesn't follow me, but I follow him.
But he's hoping. Tony's hoping.
Exactly. I want to get him on the show. He's great.
Because I think 2 out of our 3 guests who are on Twitter today follow you.
Absolutely, they do. Adam Schefter does. He has for a while. And, of course, Jay Wright follows me. Jim Nance isn't on Twitter.
No, he's not on
If
Twitter.
he were on Twitter, he would follow me. There's no doubt about that.
I wonder if his wine company's on Twitter, though.
I don't know. We'll find out. Jim and I have one thing in common. We like wine. I've never done 34 Masters. I haven't done NCAA Final Fours or NFL games on CBS, but he's going to join us next hour. Coming up next, though, Adam Schefter is going to join us from ESPN. We'll talk NFL. We'll talk about the draft. And a lot of things are bugging Adam about how some people are handling the pandemic and whether or not we should be out there.
Most notably the NFL.
Exactly. And there's nobody more legit when it comes to NFL information. There's a lot of great NFL people. Adam Schefter's right up there. We'll talk with him next live, and we'll take your calls, too. 215-462-TONY, 215-462-8669. That's the number. But Adam's going to join us. We'll take a couple calls. Adam will be with us at about 3:30-ish when we will talk. So we'll come back, take some calls, and keep this party rolling up until 6 o'clock Eastern Time. It's Tony Bruno, Harry Mays, live, not only on Sirius XM 211, but on twitch.tv, Tony Bruno Show 2, kids.
So it's funny listening to
Hey everybody, your old pal Tony Bruno here, and starting on Monday, April 6th, I'll be bringing back the Tony Bruno Show to Sirius XM Radio, Channel 211. We'll do the normal sports stuff, we'll cover everything that you need to know, and we'll deal with pop culture, music, travel, the interviews, energetic laughter. Harry Mays and I are going to be bringing the approachable style that's guaranteed to make you laugh and appreciate life. Listen to the Tony Bruno Show weekdays at 3 p.m. Starting Monday, April 6th on Dan Patrick Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 211, and on the Sirius XM app.
My name is J.B. Dilsheimer of Stampone O'Brien Dilsheimer Law. Every day, people are catastrophically injured by other negligence.
Yes, I was,
construction
Robert, but I'm
accident,
paying
a car
attention to the
accident,
people on
defective
Twitch.
product,
Tune in
medical
every day, and I'm
malpractice,
wondering whether or not we
professional
still
negligence or slip and fall. People's lives are devastated.
Tracy Lords, is she on
Too many
Twitter? I don't know.
never
I don't know.
recover because
How
they
old is
don't
she
know
now?
their rights. Don't
She
let
was
this
a little
happen
bit
to you.
older than
At
me in high
Stampone
school.
O'Brien
I actually
Dilsheimer
got to
Law,
meet her,
we
but I
bring
didn't realize it was
sophisticated
her.
trial
Okay.
knowledge,
I met her.
and personalized
Her
street
real
level
name, which I
approach
forget what
to
it is
afford
now.
you and your
She
loved
sat on my
ones the
lap once at
maximum
WFIL
financial
when
recovery to care for you and your family.
We would put her on
Personal
air.
injuries demand our
I don't know. She was
personalized
around.
approach.
She lost.
At Stampone
No, she
O'Brien
was doing
Dilsheimer Law,
appearances.
Right.
we take care
And,
of you
we
and
didn't
yours
talk
so you
to
can
porn
take care
stars
of
up
your
there
That's what I'm
back in those
saying.
days.
If you or
But she
someone you
stopped
know
by
or
and
love
she,
has
you know, she
suffered
was
injury,
promoting a book.
contact
Oh,
us.
okay.
And she
Find
came
us
in
on the
and took
web at
pictures, and I have a picture
stamponelaw.com
somewhere of her
or
sitting
call
on my lap.
215-663-0400
It was over 18
for a
dollars.
free
If you
consultation.
recall, she was
My
doing
name is J.B.
underage
Dilsheimer.
stuff,
Yeah,
and then
I'm a
everything
lawyer.
got pulled off the shelves, right? So she was like,
I'd like to welcome you all to the Audible for Autism.
and I went to West High School once. She had been going to Redondo High School and dropped out.
Join Grammy Award-winning artist Muzz Skillings of
And
Living
then
Color
was,
each football season as
court
Audible for
ordered
Autism
back
teams
to
up with
her
some of the
parents.
area's best football
And so
programs,
she
providing a
then
platform for
had to
children
go
on the
back to high
spectrum
school.
and their families
And
to
there
have
was
a
a big party
life-changing and
that I was invited
unforgettable
to a friend's
experience.
house.
When they reach their destination,
I had none of us
for them, it is not even
because all of the
for them,
hadn't been to court yet.
it will be for them.
I have a question. Hang on, because
Of
people are
having the kind of life where your biggest dream come true.
Audible for Autism provides an innovative
I don't get
game-day
to see it
immersion
up there.
program, providing individuals
So
the
they bang
opportunity
the
to
red.
participate in
Because I don't
every
have red in
aspect of
my
a live
headset.
football game.
I don't know
For
why
more
it's weird,
information,
because I
to help
have
out, to donate, go to audibleforautism.org. Audibleforautism.org. Changing children's lives, one touchdown at a time.
Wash your hands,
People say
avoid
they can,
sick people, and touching
we
your
are
face.
eating the,
There are
pumpkin
everyday
now.
actions to
I'm
help
just gonna
prevent the
unplug
spread
this.
of respiratory diseases.
There. How's that?
Yeah, that looks a little better.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, I was unable to control this one. Yeah, I have to figure that out.
So she is active, according to our bud Eddie Nasta. I call him Eddie now because he's close to the show. She is active on Twitter and Instagram. Has a new clothing line now.
Huh.
Really?
Speaking of porn stars and
Yeah.
adult, I don't like calling them porn stars. Adult
entertainers.
Lisa Ann will be on the show tomorrow.
Right.
Lisa
Well,
Ann.
but she's on her second career though.
Yes,
because
again.
yeah, she's not
But she
doing.
was an adult
Yeah,
performer.
she still does it.
She retired. Oh, she does.
dabbles.
She dabbles.
Yeah.
We all dabble.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on Sirius XM 211.
Tony Bruno, Harry Mays here. Sirius XM 211, where you can get it for free right through May 15th to hear the show on Dan Patrick Radio. And you get all the stuff for free. Every show on every Sirius channel.
Yeah, even Stern.
And you can go to SiriusXM.us/Tony Bruno SXM to start listening
That's
if
a
you're not
mouthful.
already on there. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's SiriusXM.us/Tony Bruno SXM to start listening if you already aren't doing so.
For free.
For free up until May 15th. A lot of people subscribing, re-upping their subscriptions, and we thank everybody for joining us every single day, Monday to Friday, 3 to 6 Eastern Time, live. Adam Schefter is going to join us. But let's go to the phones because we have somebody on the phone who is Lewis. Now, was he the truck driver? Is he there? Oh, he's not there anymore. I want him to call back in because he called at the top of the show thinking we were going to put him on immediately.
What, the only reason Jose?
The only reason we put a caller on in the first segment on Wednesday because it's Jose and it was What Up Wednesday, the first ever here, and so we wanted to get him on. Normally when we open the first hour of the show, we'll always get people caught up on everything that's going on, what's coming up on the show and things of that nature. And there's a lot of stuff going on too. And we had to play Billy Ocean after all. But we got a lot of good stuff today. We'll have some NBA. We have the big story is schools. Speaking of music, The state of Pennsylvania, and I'm sure this is happening all over the place, but the state of Pennsylvania made it official today. Every single school, K through 12, public and private, are now shut down. It is a final, Harry. School is out for summer. I don't know if it's out forever, but of all you parents in there who have been homeschooling your kids, now upset because you can't send them out to the playgrounds to go outside and get lost for a couple of hours, now they're going to be home not only for the last month, they're going to be home all the way through the summer.
Oh, where's that sound effect? Goog, 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 goog. Because that's what every parent this morning around 10 o'clock when they got the word from the governor.
The governor.
All right.
The governor of New Jersey is pretty much shutting down everything.
He is?
He's shutting down, except toll booths.
What about liquor stores?
Our liquor store, now, of course, we have people who live in New Jersey. The liquor stores are still open. They're essential.
Yeah.
But the governor of New Jersey has basically written executive orders. Joe Kraus was telling us today. The governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy, is shutting everything down. Parks, beaches. What else, Joe, is he shutting down at Murphy?
Well, the boardwalks
are closed.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay your mortgage.
Oh, really?
You don't have to pay your telephone bills, your automobiles.
Wow.
What about rent?
Rent?
Well, is that up to each individual person?
Well, we'll wait. Each hour, Governor Murphy.
I had this. Sorry, I was a little bit late getting this up, but school's out for summer. It's not even summer yet, though.
Well, that's out now. It's officially over. Because he says, school.
So now, what happens to the seniors who were set to graduate?
That's a good question.
You know what I mean?
They get to graduate earlier, just like all the medical students that got to graduate early so that they could start helping out right away.
But how do you have all your credits? You haven't finished the school year.
We're just dumbing down America even more.
Everybody gets a straight A and goes home for the summer?
Wow.
Man. What about if you were like a straight F student and you were about to flunk out?
Well, I think you'd have to come back for next year.
I would think so. I would hope so.
And you ain't going back for summer school. If they're going to cancel classes, there's not even going to be summer school.
No.
Wow.
I never went to summer school in high school. I waited until college to do that.
I just talked to David Boreanaz, our good friend, this morning, and I called him. I did not realize this.
Humble brag right there.
All of his kids are home. And
just like everybody else.
Yes. Yeah. And he sounded so stressed.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, I'm in the middle of school right now. I can't talk. I was like, what? And he goes, my kids are home, and I'm homeschooling. I can't talk right now.
Yeah.
And David's a good friend. His dad was Dave Roberts here in Philly.
Right.
Now we have the phone caller back on. Let's go to Lewis. Lewis, what's going on out there? Are you the friendly driver who's driving all over the country to keep America rolling?
I am. Holy crap.
You're holy crap? It is Holy Thursday. It's not any. You don't have anything to do with Holy Thursday, do you?
Well, that was in regards to the guest lineup that you had today for the show. I mean, that is worthy of a Holy Thirsty Thursday.
No doubt about it, pal. Let's pour another one out for everybody out there, especially those who can't get alcohol.
I've only got 5,000 miles in the last 14 days or so, so we're just it's just nonstop, bang, bang. But what are you going to do? Hey, I'm happy to have a job, and hope everyone's safe, and thanks to everyone who's rolling, and the hospital people, first responders, everyone who's alive, and amen to everyone out there. We're all trying to hold the fort down and get through this damn thing.
Now what are you hauling? That's a.
I was going to ask him what he was driving first. A Peterbilt, Kenworth. What do you got?
I got a freight shaker.
A Freightliner, right?
Freightliner, that's right. We call them freight shakers, hard shakers.
Not a rump shaker.
No, not the rump shaker. Those are good. Now, if you go to a lot and you go to like one of those TA truck stops to fill up, then you can get yourself a rump shaker, a lot lizard, and a freight shaker all in one.
And then you put them in a sleeping cab,
exactly.
Right?
Put them in the back, and you put them in the bathroom, too, and you leave them in there.
Oh, those are the old days, absolutely.
We're trying to bring back the old days.
Yes, we are. Now, what kind? Now, you're in the truck right now in the rig. What are you hauling, by the way?
Right now, believe it or not, empty pallets. I just brought a load to Dallas. I left something brown there.
Wait a minute, you wasted a truck ride all the way to Dallas from Mays Landing, New Jersey with empty pallets?
For pallets?
No. I brought them a delivery of grocery items from PG, Procter Gamble.
Okay.
And the warehouse I delivered to, they also they did, although if we don't take the empty pallets out, next thing you know, the warehouse has like 1 million pallets everywhere, and so it's just a backhaul. That's all. So. But yeah, it's nonstop. It's absolutely crazy. I'm hauling anything from toilet paper to forklift batteries. It doesn't matter what it is.
That toilet paper load might get hijacked.
You better have a couple security guards when you lift up the gate back there getting ready.
That's like cigarettes back in the 60s and 70s, man. Tony Soprano and a couple of the boys will be pulling you off to an exit.
Now, it doesn't say toilet paper on board, does it?
No, it does not.
Okay, good.
Although, can you make a little short stop on your next
No, we got
trip out?
we got plenty of toilet paper here. We're well stocked, man. Except this, I saw today that the supermarkets, Albertsons chain, which is Acme here, they're now saying they're only going to allow people in one at a time.
One at a time.
Yeah, so Home Depot was doing that. So one person.
ShopRite was doing it.
I know. They're all starting to do it now because we're supposed to be in that time right now where we're at the peak here.
Yeah.
In Philly now is supposed to be peak, yet there's hundreds of kids playing basketball in a schoolyard last night.
Right next to one another.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Except they're also, by allowing only one person at a time, which happened down at the Home Depot, there was a line of people around the parking lot all intermingling.
Yeah, and they're not even standing 6 feet apart. So what's the purpose of having separation in a parking lot and letting in one person at a time if everybody in line's on top of one another?
Doesn't make sense.
At least you can go, and there were thoughts of not letting anyone in. You make your order online, and when it's ready, then your ass goes to the store and picks it up. But
I did that at Best Buy over the weekend. We ordered some stuff, some cables, and I got in the line there, and they come out, and they give you the bag, and you leave. And, you pay online, and they bring it out to you. That's awesome.
Did you even have to get out of the car?
No, I didn't get out of my car.
So it's just a line, a drive-through
I got out of my
line.
dreams, and there was a hot chick there who was bringing the clothes and stuff out to me. I said, get into my car. She said, I can't right now. I'm busy. Come back after the store closes.
She probably works at the Red Robin Diner on a normal basis.
Nothing wrong with Red Robin. You know what their slogan is? Red Robin.
Yum.
Yum. Yum.
Hey, Robin used to have red hair, and I would always sing that jingle.
Yeah.
Red Robin. Yum.
Yeah, and she'd be bringing out Tony's favorite SOS, cream of chip beef.
I can't do it because I can't have the milk, and I can't put it on toast because it's not keto. Now, the beef is, but the toast and the cream.
Well, you can make it with heavy cream, and it would be fine.
Yeah, but what am I going to pour it over?
I would have to make the keto pizza crust that's made out of mozzarella.
Where's Adam Schefter?
I don't know. He's calling in a couple of minutes here at 3:30. We said at the bottom of the hour.
I'll get you to Adam. I'll deliver Adam on time. No problem.
All right. Well, you be careful out there. What's the cheapest gas you've seen? Because I see it's snowing in Minnesota today.
Yeah. How cheap is the diesel?
Yeah. What's the cheapest diesel you saw?
I was just through Oklahoma where it was $1.37.
Wow. Is that the good clean diesel or is that regular diesel?
It was at a Shell gas station, so I think Shell's okay.
Okay, no, but they have they have a scam like every other gas. This is the clean gasoline. This is the dirt. They call it clean diesel. I don't know what it is, but it's supposed to be better than the regular diesel. It has half the calories, I think. Less fillers.
It's low carb. It's low carb diesel.
You know what we need to start implementing again, Tony?
What?
All of the truck drivers, if they happen to be in their truck if they're driving, they need to give us a good sounder.
Oh, yeah. Wait, hold on.
Give me the horn.
Hold on.
Oh, that's lacking a little bit, man. That's not full-throated.
That ain't no Peterbilt horn.
No, that's a Freightliner, man. You got to upgrade. You got to upgrade that horn in there, man. When I hear
when
you pull that
supposed to
thing,
shame them.
No, I mean that's part. I've done this.
Hey, we're
forever.
horn shaming here on the show.
Well, Lou, you be careful out there, man. We appreciate you and everybody else who's out there keeping America moving, getting all the stuff to the store so people can have stuff. Even if they can't get to the store, at least they know it's being replenished by great people like you out there, Lou. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, and if I'm not on in the next 5 minutes, just wait longer.
All right, thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, bye-bye.
There he is. Yeah, New Jersey is down to $1.97, and, of course, they pump it for you there. That was another big controversy that they wanted to know if they were going to get rid of the gasoline. Because, you know, Harry, in New Jersey, it's one of the few states where you can't pump your own gas.
Right. And they don't want that to change, right?
No, the governor says no. We should still have those people out there, and so their safety is a concern. But you hand them a credit card and say fill it up, and they've
got gloves on. I'm assuming
exactly,
right?
Absolutely. So, and that's one of the places that a lot of people in states where you don't have somebody filling it up for you. Is everybody's touching that gas lamp, and there's germs everywhere.
Right, but the place right near my house where I do all my filling up, they give you gloves.
Oh, they do?
They give you the gloves like they wear in the deli, like the clear
thin
plastic thin ones.
We have a box of those. I buy 200
It's like
of
a
them.
one and done.
Like you go into the store, get the gloves, put them on, then you start touching all the stuff, and then just throw them. You don't throw them on the ground though, like they do in Philadelphia. You put them in a trash can.
Well, the good thing about a gas station is there's usually a trash can between the pumps.
Yeah.
So if you're too lazy to take them off and throw them into the stinking trash can before you get back into your car after you fill up your tank, you should be arrested on site.
I agree.
You should be tased on site. Tased right there. They should hire somebody who stands around with a taser.
Right, like a security guard.
Exactly right. Adam Schefter just 26 seconds ago said he's calling in 5 minutes.
Well, that's nice of him.
Well, at least he's telling us.
Well, maybe he's doing a lot of interviews.
He's probably calling in right now. Yeah, you think he's just sitting around at home, Robin? Just because
I'm giving him a hard time because he gave me a hard time.
Just because he dissed you on the DM.
Abso-freaking-lutely. I have every right.
Is that Adam on the line now? Yes. Is that Adam Schefter?
Yes.
How are you, man?
How you doing?
Good. Robin feels disrespected because when we arranged this the other day, and you said, no, I don't need to go through Robin. Just put it right through Tony.
Well, no disrespect to Robin. Listen, I try to limit the interaction I have with people. I have enough interaction with enough people. And so if I could just streamline, you told me Thursday, 3:30, here it is. What do I need to do that with Robin for? It's nothing against Robin.
I thought it was, you're becoming a germaphobe now, and you're worried about contact with human beings and stuff, and I'm thinking, but this is just a phone call. Robin's not going to transmit anything through the lines if she were the one who contacted you, man.
No, again, I've had it so many times where all of a sudden I've had it happen where someone reach out, hey, could you do this? Great. Yes. And then all of a sudden, I'm dealing with emails with 2 or 3 more people. That I don't want to do.
No, I hear you, man. I'm just busting your chops. You know that.
How you doing there, Tony?
I'm doing good, man. Now, a lot of people have been saying, what's wrong with Adam Schefter now, man? He's like worried about everything, the draft, and the NFL must be mad at him because he's saying, I can't believe we're going to do a draft, and now they're going to do it virtually. Mm-hmm. And so that stuff really, really seems to bother you because I've known you a long time, and people are saying, what's gotten into Adam Schefter?
Well, no. First of all, let me say, I want football back as much as the next guy. Like, that's my job. That's my living. Football has been great to be around, to cover for 30-plus years that I've done it. And it's been great. So why am I not allowed to have one stance on one topic in regards to draft? It's not that I don't want the draft. My question is, what I didn't understand is they're doing the draft on April 23rd. And by the way, when they do it, then it'll be great. It'll be great, and it'll give people a diversion. I'm not trying to take people's diversion away. My only question, living in New York, being near ground zero of all this, why did it have to be April 23rd? Why couldn't it have been May 23rd or June 23rd? That's all.
And you know what, Adam? As one who thinks everybody should have the right to their opinion, I had no problem with that. People went crazy because you gave a personal opinion about your job and what you think would be a better thing. You're not the commissioner. Nobody changed anything because of your opinion,
right?
And yet people were killing you because you had the audacity to give an opinion.
Tony, let me explain something, okay? My college roommate, his mom died, okay, 4 days ago. The next day, I had another friend lose his mother. I've got 3 cousins with the virus. I've got a niece with the virus. Why am I not allowed to move it back away from the apex of it all? Why am I not allowed to think that?
You are. You absolutely are.
So why would people be killing me over that?
I don't know. You saw it. I mean, I'm not the one who's doing it because I defended your right to give an opinion, especially since you work for ESPN, which is obviously a part of the NFL. You guys have a contract. And so that my point is I'm lauding you because you have the backbone, even though you work for a company that doesn't, Disney doesn't like people having strong stances
when they partner with.
When you're a partner, that's the way it works in our business. So I'm giving you credit for making that proclamation or giving your opinion in a world where nobody wants anybody to give their opinions anymore.
Well, again, that's just how I felt. I look forward to the draft whenever it is. I just felt it would be in better taste to have it a little later. That's my opinion. Sorry.
You don't have to be sorry for it. And I'm not sorry for my opinions. People come after me all the time. You know, we still live in America. You can still say whatever you want. Now, some people can't say what they want because, you know, as we talked about, you're a local rights holder of a team, and the guy on the radio goes on and rips the team, and then the general manager gets a phone call, hey, your guy on the air is ripping our team, and we're in bed together, we're partners, get rid of him. You know, no, that's the kind of stuff that bugs me. The fact that you are so respected and you are an NFL guy, and that's what you do for a living and have for a long time, I'm perfectly fine with you having the right to say that.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, Tony. We've known each other a long time, and appreciate your support always. And by the way, congratulations and welcome back to Sirius. That's a big get for Sirius. You've always been a pioneer in this industry. You've always been a legend in this business, and you should have great things that happen to you in this business. And I sincerely mean that. You know how I feel about you. We've gone back. We've done radio a long time together, right?
Back when you were the president of the Pro Football Writers Association of America in Denver, Colorado, remember?
There you go. See that, Tony? So that gives people an idea. So that puts us on the map, you and I, 25 or so years, right?
Exactly. No, I'm happy for you, man, because you are, you know, when you see people that you knew a long time ago and they move up the food chain and you obviously worked your way there with your great work ethic and family man and you care about things that really matter to everybody. But, you know, we're going to do this. We're going to do it, and now we got the draft coming up. We now know what's going to happen, but there's concerns yesterday. John Harbaugh was talking about worrying about the logistics of all the technology and people being,
well, they're so paranoid.
Somebody hacking into the personal information databases.
Their scouting info.
The scouting info and the player information and all that stuff. Are you worried about any of that stuff?
I'm not, because I'm not smart enough technologically to figure out how to do it. But I can tell you that, there are people that are concerned about it. I mean, listen, football coaches by nature are paranoid. They know that anything can happen at any time. And so they're going to be taking safeguards regularly to make sure that their practices aren't seen, their Zoom conference calls aren't hacked into. And, again, we're dealing with a scenario that we've never encountered before, with the draft unfolding in a way that's never been done before. And so, teams will go through it in their own ways, and this is what some people feel.
Hey, Adam, they actually are now giving money to 6 charities. It's going to be, the draft is going to be like a virtual fundraiser now for 6 charities, including the American Red Cross, the CDC Foundation, All of Us, Feeding America, COVID-19 Response Fund, etc. Do you think they added that as a result of maybe some negative blowback that they got for doing the draft at all?
I think that was going to be part of their planning, and I think that's the way that they believe that they should do it now, because the sooner they can raise the money, the sooner they can dispense it to these organizations that need the funds. Right now, everybody needs the funds, so that they can do it that way. The NFL, that's how the NFL likes to do these things. And when it kicks off games this season, and we hope that there'll be games and there won't be any issues, and that there seems to be that sense, I'm sure there'll be tributes to first responders and doctors and nurses. The league has been pretty good about that over time.
Talking with the great Adam Schefter from ESPN. Now, there's a lot of stories floating around there. Of course, the Jadeveon Clowney story, whether or not Seattle are going to make a deal with him. There's different reports. Mike Garafolo, I always say Garafolo because I'm Italian, but Mike Garafolo over at the NFL Network's talking about that even though there's been a lot of people speaking up, including his quarterback, he's going to go back. He wants $20 million. The offer is not even close. What do you see happening with Clowney?
Well, he's waiting. Listen, if you're a free agent and you're on the street on April 9th, clearly free agency didn't work out the way that you thought. And he went into free agency wanting north of $20 million a year. And he had 3 sacks last year. And there are teams that like him as a player, but they don't like him enough to pay him $20 million a year. And he's not going to get that on the open market. And so now you've got Seattle interested, you've got Cleveland interested. Those really seem to be the 2 spots that have expressed interest. And the question is, does he want to take a deal that he believes is worth less than what he thought he would get? Or does he want to wait and see who doesn't come up with a pass rusher in the draft, or who loses a player to injury at training camp whenever that happens. So these are the things the players go through over time.
What about the whole situation with Cam Newton and Jameis Winston now, both still on the street? Both, I assume, would want to be a starting quarterback somewhere. Who do you think is more desired at some point?
Well, it's just different, right? You have Cam in a situation where teams would want to get medicals on him, and they can't do that right now. I know he passed a physical in Atlanta with an independent doctor, and the Panthers said he passed the physical, but that doesn't stop Team X from wanting to get a physical done with its doctor, and they can't do that right now. Plus, the timing is such that Cam Newton becomes a free agent after Phillip Rivers signed in Indianapolis and Tom Brady signed in Tampa and Teddy Bridgewater signed in Carolina, where he came from, and the Bears traded for Nick Foles. And so places that needed a quarterback filled their hole. And then you're going to have other teams that fill holes in the draft, i.e. the Bengals with Joe Burrow, the Dolphins with whoever they go with, Chargers are there. Right, there are going to be other quarterbacks. Someone's going to take Justin Herbert. Someone's going to take Jordan Love. Someone's going to take Tua. And so when those things happen, it's going to be a situation where there's even fewer openings for him. So nobody's going to pay him what he's used to making, I don't believe. And so, Cam Newton's going to want to take a one-year deal and hit the free agent market. One-year deal, no tag, can't tag me, and I hit the market again next year.
Do you think there was a couple of stories floating around yesterday which were debunked, is the situation in New England where Cam Newton had supposedly reached an agreement with the Patriots, and that obviously turned out to be fake. Is there a possibility that the Patriots take a flyer on Cam Newton up there? I know they have Stidham, the young kid, but they have to have a reliable backup, don't they? Or at least somebody who could push Stidham if he doesn't work out.
Well, that's where they went out and signed Brian Hoyer, and the Patriots are in a situation right now where they're about $1 million under the cap.
Wow.
And so you've got to draft your players, and unless they make a dramatic move and move on from a highly paid veteran, or pull the tag on Joe Thuney, or trade their franchise player in Joe Thuney, then they couldn't afford a quarterback like that. And I think that the way New England's thinking today, and we'll see who's on the street or what happens 2-3 weeks from now, 2-3 months from now, but I think that they believe they've got Jarrett Stidham, they got Brian Hoyer. They'll draft a guy at some point, and they'll bring those three quarterbacks to camp, and may the best man win.
What else is happening today that you can give us at this particular time as breaking news exclusively on the Tony Bruno Show on Sirius XM 211, the Dan Patrick Channel?
You think news just materializes just like that? I'm actually waiting for confirmation of one little thing here. No, it's not a big deal. It's not an actual news story, but it's one of hope and optimism, because I'm full of hope and optimism, Tony. Just to prove everybody wrong.
I'm full of that too. I've been full of a lot of things for days.
Adam depressed me with the tweet that he put out 21 hours ago now. The 2020 NFL. No. It was about the doctor in California
in Santa Clara or something.
17 hours ago.
The city administrator.
Yeah, yes. That guy, Jeffrey Smith. When I read that, I was really depressed.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna mitigate that with the next little piece of information here as soon as I can just get it confirmed.
Awesome.
Okay.
Hey, Adam, seriously though, with this draft being such a unique situation with everybody in their sequestered to their own locations, was there any thought from the NFL's perspective to lengthen the amount of time between picks?
No, but what I think you're going to see happen is that if let's just say the Dolphins are trying to trade up to number 3 with Detroit,
right,
and they initiate a call with the league office with 2 minutes left on the clock. I don't think the league is going to say after those 2 minutes expire, when they've been on the phone with both teams, we're on to pick number 4 in the New York Giants. They're going to work with the teams and be understanding of the fact that everybody's in a different situation than they've been in before. And they'll extend that another minute or 2 or 3 or whatever it is to make sure that business is conducted properly, that everybody's got a fair time to do what they need, and that business gets done so that there aren't any hiccups or situations like where the Vikings missed their turn back in, 2002 or 3 with Kevin Williams, and the other team rushed to turn in its pick, and then the Vikings had to turn. I don't think we're going to get any shenanigans like that. And I think the league will be reasonable and understanding of teams that that haven't wrapped up their business by a certain time.
I know you got to go. We have to go, too, but I got to ask you about this Colin Kaepernick, the daily Colin Kaepernick or the weekly or the monthly news that's floating around.
What's floating around?
I don't know. That he's going to get a tryout again. Nobody can get a tryout, so I don't know why anybody's even thinking about that. But apparently there's a Sports Center right now.
The Jets
have signed Colin Kaepernick to a 1-year, $9 million contract.
No,
it's a fake
That's
account.
a fake
it's
account.
a fake account that tweeted yesterday that Cam Newton was going to New England and credited me with both stories.
Yeah, that's a fake
Just
account.
look to see who's tweeting it.
I don't know. Somebody just put it up on the screen. I can't see.
It wasn't me.
No, I think Robin put it up because that's what happens. It's a fake.
Yeah, it's a fake. It's at Super Tough Scene is the account.
So that person should be hunted down. And how does Jack, who goes after people on Twitter for the most innocuous things, how does that account not get taken down and reported as spam when everybody will see that from a distance? Because I said you said you had something coming up soon, and I thought you were holding that back from us. That's why I thought it was you, because I couldn't see it from far away on the big screen.
No. Yesterday they reported that I was reporting that Cam Newton was going to New England when I never reported that. And today they're reporting that I'm reporting that Colin Kaepernick is going to the Jets when I never reported that either. So you've asked me about both those situations, Tony, and I would recommend that you look at the blue check mark.
I always do, Adam. I always do.
That was Adam Scheffler.
No,
not Adam
that was a
Schefter.
Sports Center. That wasn't even Adam. That was a fake Sports Center. There's a fake Sports Center, which I follow religiously. But then the real Sports Center I follow, too, and I always know when it's the right one. But again, I saw it on the big screen. Robin put that up on the big screen.
So what they do is really smart, though, because they tag Adam, the real one, as if they're giving it for real, but you can't see the check mark.
All right, after this show, I'm going to find this guy. I'm going to hunt him down like a rabid dog. Adam, always great to talk to you, buddy. Thanks
Cody,
so much.
welcome back to the airwaves of Sirius. Great to hear your voice. Good luck with the show. I know it'll be a huge success.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Adam Schefter, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a roaring round of applause, shall we?
So there's going to be a tweet from Adam coming out here soon that's going to make people feel a little bit better about the start of football.
Yes.
I
don't know why he couldn't break it right here. I mean, Jesus,
well, he needed to confirm.
He had to confirm.
See, he's not one of these guys that just takes like a half a source. He confirms stuff.
Yeah, that's why I love him. He's a legit journalist.
Right.
That's why normally whenever you see anything with him tagged in, I'm like, oh, it has to be real.
All right, we got to take a break. Coming back, much more still ahead. Jim Nance in the next hour. And Jay Wright, Villanova's Hall of Fame coach, all still ahead. Tony Bruno Show, Sirius XM 211. Harry Mays, Miss Robin, we're all here.
Listen to the Tony Bruno Show.
All right.
That final segment when you come back out of this is going to be short.
Yeah. But we got him late, and there was so much to go through with Adam.
I might just. I'm trying to think. I got a 2.5 minute bed. That if we're back at 51, 52, 2.5 from the backside puts it at 57.5. You've got a 5 minute.
That's okay. I don't mind doing that when we have a good guest and we can't get on exactly at 20 after. Like I know with Nance, we're going to come right out at 22 with that.
But that's at 4:20, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying the next hour.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in a situation like that, we know how long the segment is.
Beach Babe 1204. I want a muffin too.
I didn't think that the Jets thing was real because we put it up there to point out because I hadn't seen that fake tweet.
Right, and I was showing that there's so many people that credit him.
It's been at least 3 years.
It's legit.
It's been at least 3 years since I got duped by a fake account. Because most of the accounts that I follow with the blue check marks follow me back, so I know they're real. Like, I don't even see that fake Sports Center one because I'm not following it, and it doesn't show up in my feed.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets.
Okay, did you see this? Max Mike 51. Best lineup of guests in sports talk history. Congrats, Tony.
Thank you, Max Mike. The check is in the mail.
I got another guy that says he just upgraded to streaming on his Sirius XM and he can't find channel 211. Isn't that weird?
I don't understand.
So I just said search for Dan Patrick Radio. Maybe it's under a different number.
Well, I know that there were a couple times because I was testing it out on the app because I normally don't use the app. We usually listen to XM in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And when I searched for Dan Patrick channel, it came up with his show. But when I just typed in 211 in the search bar, then it came up with all the shows that are on 211. So hopefully whoever that is listening, and then they can just type in 211. You only get that here, hair.
What?
I don't know.
You only get that here, Harry? Harry's wardrobe is predictable, Philly Cheese says.
Who cares?
And then Bueller.
Like I care. I got a Masters shirt on. This shirt probably costs more than his whole wardrobe.
Wow.
I'm sick of this crap with this video.
Bueller says,
This
Harry
Philly
looks like
cheese-
a cool mailman.
This Philly cheese guy's up my ass.
No, he's joking around, Harry. Sheepers, lighten up.
See my Masters shirt, man? I got
Did
another.
did you buy that, Derek?
I got another one for tomorrow.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on Sirius XM 211.
People getting under Harry's skin on the Twitch stream now about his wardrobe. Harry's got a Masters shirt. It's Masters week. He's got a Masters shirt on, which is probably more than my entire wardrobe.
My wardrobe's predictable. Yeah, I wear fleeces a lot. So what? I change them. I got like 50 of them.
Relax.
You know who's predictable?
I'm not relaxed.
Apparently. You know who's predictable in the wardrobe?
Who?
Tony. He will wear the same pants and just a different T-shirt. Maybe
Well,
long
guys
sleeve.
do that. They wear their pants like multiple days, like jeans or something.
But no, I mean, he never dresses up. He doesn't even put polos on hardly. You at least look halfway decent.
Halfway? The hell are you talking
Harry's
about,
cleaned up
Robin?
real good. I got my Strikeout Cancer shirt from a recent charity I went to.
Yeah?
I got a St. Jude's shirt I'm going to wear tomorrow for helping St. Jude raise money.
Okay.
So I'm not afraid to wear those.
So you wear free shirts?
Yes.
That's
well,
what you're
not
saying.
just because, no, they're not free. I contribute to the charity, and they give me a shirt, and I proudly wear it. What's wrong with that?
What it should say what you, like, I contributed $50 on
No,
the sleeve
that's
or
the
something.
celebrity bartender thing that I did a couple of
okay.
weeks ago before everybody got shut down, and they gave me a nice, lovely parting gift.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Strikeout Cancer.
Yeah.
You don't want to strike out cancer, huh?
Of course.
What's the matter with you, man? Why do we have to give Robin one of those again now? What did she do now?
Well, because of the fake tweet, I think. Putting the fake tweet up
But
on
I
the
was
screen.
putting it up there because he was talking about the fake stuff.
Okay. Let's give her one of those anyway, just for good measure. I don't know why.
Man, and I made you muffins.
Yeah, those were like I'm sorry
Yeah,
muffins,
those were
right?
my
Apology.
yesterday apology tweets. I made you muffins.
He wants more muffins is basically what's happening.
Yeah, they're sitting up there, and they're screaming my name, and I can't have one.
Don't the cats jump up there and start eating them?
No.
Really?
Yeah, no,
Wow.
they
You
don't.
just have them on the countertop?
They're well
Now, they're
behaved.
not muffin tops, because people are goofing around on the Twitch stream here.
Yeah, of course.
They're asking our good friend, the Beach Babe, whether she has a muffin top.
Oh,
I mean, that's just disgusting behavior.
It
by
really
these men.
is.
That's why I hate men. That's why I don't hang out with any of them.
They
I just hang out with women.
They probably also think her wardrobe is predictable.
Coming up in the next hour, we'll take some calls. Jim Nance is going to join us. Now, to be fair, we actually recorded Jim Nance a little earlier this morning because he's been doing a bunch of interviews. Mm-hmm. And so we recorded him about an hour and a half before the show. About an hour before the show, actually. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those, we're only going to do 12 minutes with him.
Well, that's what they said.
Because that usually happens. You know, when one person is doing interviews in 1 day or 2 days to talk about the Masters. Because
it's like one after another.
Yeah,
boom,
you get time slots.
And I'm thinking, okay, we're going to get Jim for 10 minutes, maybe 12. And it went, and it was classic. It's one of the great conversations, not because we did a great interview, but because it wasn't your typical rush through. He's only got 10 minutes, get him off. Somebody's waving him off in the background.
Yeah, we actually finally stopped it because we're like, okay, he must have something else to do at some point.
Well,
but
no,
he wanted to talk forever.
Because we wanted to put it in a certain segment, and we know how long that segment is.
Right.
And, we didn't want to go like overtime. So he knew that.
Yeah,
he knows radio.
He knows he's been in the business 35 years.
Now, afterwards, are we going to the next segment congratulate ourselves and read emails about how great the interview was?
Well, we really should. I mean, isn't it only natural? No, actually, we look on the Twitch stream and get instant reaction.
Oh, yeah, but it's all negative.
Yeah, people who rip us.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about having instant gratification with the Twitch stream and people calling in and on Twitter at Tony Bruno Show, at Harry Mays TU. People immediately respond.
Yeah, that interview was predictable.
Yes, that interview sucked, or that interview was really good. That interview is one of the greatest I ever heard.
Great.
It's great. It's all that other stuff. So that's what's great about doing this, is that people react right away, and they're not holding anything back. You know what I mean?
No, they're not.
What are we supposed to wear? Tuxedos, Robin?
Right.
Yes.
What are we supposed to wear?
I mean, part of the reason why I got into radio, one of the many things, was because you didn't have to worry about what you looked like.
Exactly.
Or what you wore.
I was the same way, but then people started calling me to make television appearances.
I know. Well,
what are you going to say? No?
No. And then you did a TV show.
Then I did a TV show. Then I did daily appearances on TV shows. I didn't go out looking for it. They came to me. You know what I'm saying? The face for radio. Do I have a face for radio? I don't know. Now people are saying other hosts are always dressed up. Who's dressed up on radio?
I don't know.
Who gets dressed up?
I can tell you Francesa wears the same thing every day.
Exactly.
He wears fleeces like me.
Tracksuit,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Tracksuit.
Well, he likes to wear loose-fitting garments, Harry. There's some people wear the
Beach Babe 12, sports casual.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
The fourth floor stall is checked in and very active up there on the fourth floor. Says, who cares how long the segment is? Harry Mays is the king of quick outs. I don't know what that means, but I like it.
I don't know. Sometimes being quick is good.
Now we have, I mentioned, we talked football. You see the latest news out of the NBA. This is breaking NBA news. It's not fake news. It's legit because it's from Woj. Adrian Wojnarowski at ESPN. And I'm sure everybody who's out there out of work, filing for unemployment, will be happy to hear this and will sleep better tonight. The NBA will be paying their players full checks on April 15th.
Wow.
Let me repeat, all the NBA players out there who've been struggling for the last month without a paycheck will be getting their full checks on April 15th, so they don't have to stand in line at the unemployment office to get 1 month's pay.
Right. Now, when do they get paid? Do they get paid once a month on the 15th?
I don't know if it's the 15th and the 30th. Suffice it to say, their checks, I think, will be okay. We'll hold most of even the guys, even the lowest level NBA players, their checks are going to hold them.
Because the last games they played, I believe, were on the 11th of March.
Does it really matter?
Well, I'm just
it
saying.
matters to them.
Well, yeah.
Not to the people unemployed. Coming up in the next hour, Jim Nance, more of your calls and a lot of fun because that's what we do here. Tony Bruno, Harry Mays, Miss Robin, the Dan Patrick Channel, Sirius XM 211, and on Twitch TV.
Hey, this is Tony Bruno. Be a part of my new show.
Predictable, huh? Can we start betting on wardrobes? I need action.
This Chris Johnson thing is.
Around, guys. 1:30 to the 0-0, and then the music bumper fires.
And then I'm just. And no, okay.
This Chris Johnson thing's crazy, man.
And
this
how
goes
long
back
is
to
this segment's
2016.
only going to be like 10 minutes, right?
10 or 12.
Yeah,
12
10,
minutes.
12. Okay.
I'll be a hard out of 12.
We normally have a hard out at 12, but that's serious, so they don't have any spots from that.
Right, but let's do a hard out of 12 so that we can keep that long segment for Nance.
No, Nance fits into the 20.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying. But it's actually 24 minutes long.
Oh, I thought it was 22.
It's 24 minutes long.
Or a little earlier.
Yeah, well, if we break it 12, we'll be close. Yeah,
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
Officials believe that Chris Johnson rewarded a gang member with cash after the guy allegedly killed two men who were suspected of gunning down Johnson's friend. Wow.
Dude.
Well, Johnson was shot, too.
Yeah.
He was shot, and two of his other buddies.
He got shot in the shoulder.
Yeah, he actually posted pictures of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a known story a couple
Yeah.
years ago. When is Martinez coming?
Clarky Bob, tell Joe to cut back on the caffeine.
Who's drinking? Joe's not drinking coffee. You don't even drink coffee,
it's
do you?
because he can't stand still. He's constantly moving, and so I think they can see.
He's a mover and shaker.
People on Twitch are seeing your arm go in and out of the shot behind Harry.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on Sirius XM 211.
Yes, indeed. Having fun on a holy Thursday. Holy cow. This is April 9th, 2020. Phone lines, 215-462-TONY, 215-462-8669. Jim Nance is going to join us in our next segment, Harry.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. You were talking about the NBA players getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see who is still waiting to get paid in another big sports league? This I found kind of amazing.
Todd Gurley?
Todd Gurley.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Clay Matthews. They're awaiting their paychecks from the Rams. Now, football, I mean, it ended a while ago.
Yeah.
I don't, you know,
they got cut, and then they have all these incentives and the guaranteed money up front. And so they're saying that they didn't get their checks for the guaranteed money amounts. But that's why you have agents. They deal with that stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean,
you don't think Todd Gurley's calling Sean McVay
No.
and say, hey, Sean, can you call the front office and find where's my check?
Sean just, like, transfers into accounting, and then accounting gets a voicemail, and Todd leaves a message, and nobody calls him back. I wonder how big those checks are, though.
Wow. Let's just say this. Those checks are bigger than what I'll make in the next 5 years in one paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the NBA guys.
No, I know.
Who are going to get paid on April 15th.
Right.
That's more than the average person will make. An average family where two people are working will make in 2 years. And I'm not listen. They get that money because
good for them.
They're stars, and that's what you get paid when you're an NBA celebrity and a star. I don't begrudge anybody, just like I didn't begrudge Adam Schefter.
Now, Play Action Real is saying during Holy Week, we need some Reverend Bruno action, yo.
I'm not allowed
Some
to have
blessings.
any kind of. I got a memo today from the church.
You did?
From the church where I am now a pastor. Pastor Bruno. What did I call myself before? I came up with a name
The
for it.
Irreverent Reverend.
Yes, the Irreverent Reverend.
That's good.
Isn't that a good one?
Now, where's the church?
The church is everywhere, Harry.
Okay.
We don't need a building. It's just like Easter Sunday. Nobody's going to be able to go into churches.
Right.
They'll be virtual.
Well, I think the priests and stuff are going into the church, and then they record and broadcast
they'll do a live
it out,
stream.
right?
In St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York, where Robin and I have been many times, they got monitors all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So that the bishop is up there, the cardinal.
Right.
Cardinal Dolan, he's doing Mass if you're a Catholic. Passover, the same thing. The synagogues are closed.
But you're allowed to do anything as a Universal Life Church minister. It is non-denominational, so you can do any denomination.
Exactly. Well, you can send any denomination, too, because in case you noticed, last night we're flipping around on the TV, and all of these channels where there's all these ministers begging for money, and they have the numbers up there, and if you don't send me money now, I mean, that's the kind of stuff. Listen, a lot of these people are really deeply involved in religion, but there's a lot of people out there, especially in these times, where they're just looking for a way to get money.
Scammers.
Yeah. I'm not saying all ministers are scammers.
No. But
there's a lot of them that are a little shaky. By the way, Dan Lust, our good buddy, our sports law Lust
he's
guy,
the attorney, right?
He's the official attorney who doesn't charge us, which is even better.
Oh, we have an official attorney.
We have
of
an
the
official
show.
official attorney.
Okay.
Dan Lust, Esquire.
Yeah.
He says, now on back-to-back days with a fake SportsCenter account crediting Adam Schefter as a source for bogus moves, Schefter just expressed frustration. Why can't I talk? In a great segment with Tony Bruno and Harry Mays. If your gut is that it shouldn't be legal, here's the definition of libel. And he's right about that. Because these people who are posting these things, and again, I didn't see the original thing. I don't know who this super tough scene is. Whoever he is, if that account is not blocked or banned from Twitter, that's libel. Again, should people know? But he doesn't post himself as a parody account.
No.
As I mentioned, there are it does say parody. Subscribe.
But you don't see that right away.
No.
You don't see that in the
Yeah.
tweets.
Exactly.
Right? You'd have to be following that and know that.
Well, and you have to open up the entire account.
Right, the profile.
Exactly.
And I know who this guy is now, actually. I
do?
know who this person is. It's a guy who's been using all kinds of fake accounts. Barry McHockiner he uses, which is an actual joke. And this guy is an idiot. Where did that come from?
That is the new, when somebody donates bits on the Twitch
stream?
channel, you now make it rain. Tony
I
Bruno.
make it rain by peeling off the money.
Nice.
Beautiful. Let's go to Orange County in the OC. Is that Orange County, California, or Orange County, Florida? Or Orange County, Pennsylvania?
Tony, what a privilege. Welcome to Sirius. It's Orange County, Mike from Orange County, California. How are you, my friend?
Beautiful, Mike. Not as good as you, man. I'm not in Orange County, California right now.
It's raining cats and dogs this week. believe it or not. So even if the Angels were playing this week, they wouldn't be playing this week
It's an
because
outrage.
it would be rained out.
Yeah, I heard the other day it's snowing in Minnesota today, believe it or not.
Tony, I remember you back in the day in L.A. radio. What station were you on the AM here? Was it 710 or one of them? Which one was it?
Well, I was on
here?
AM 570 KLAC. First of all, it started, I think it was 1110. It was the ESPN
1110.
station. Was it 1110?
Oh, wait. And it went Korean, right?
Yes.
Petros?
No, Petros did not go Korean.
Right.
He went Greek, I think. He was like big on baklava and his family. You know the whole story.
Yeah, well, he's huge on Greek. You know,
He's Greek. His father's a
exactly.
mover and shaker.
Petros Papadakis, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yep.
Petros and
There
Money
you go.
Show.
Yeah.
So I was on AM 570 KLAC. I was on a couple of. I was on 1540 when I was on Sporting News up there in Santa Monica in a little building where the Santa Monica airport is. Really, we had a studio in an office building.
Oh, yeah?
Where they didn't have any insulation, and when somebody walked into the lobby and closed the door, you can hear it on the air.
Really?
That's the kind of high-tech facilities we had.
You've done all the L.A. stations, not being from L.A. You've done L.A. radio all over, like just across the dial.
Exactly.
I mean, 570, it's the Lakers stations for years. I mean, it's all the classics. You ever do 710 or no? You weren't on 710.
I was on 710 a little bit. Yeah, I pretty much worked on every station in Los Angeles, except all the FMs. I was on a couple of the FMs, but not all of them.
Incredible. I can't believe you're back on Sirius.
Well, thank you, sir.
Well, listen, guys, welcome. You know, listen, I love calling these stations. I love all my Southern California teams, my Angels, my Rams, my Lakers.
What about your What about the Dodgers, man?
You know, Tony, listen, I was born in Inglewood, right?
Inglewood?
69 moved out. I was born in Inglewood. I was born in the
No,
hood.
I gave you a little Inglewood.
Lived in Gardena. 69 moved out to Orange County. But grandfather, huge Dodger fan. So I have no Dodger background, but since 1970, I've been, been the Angels pretty much. You know, I was at Game 7 of the series in 2002, saw them beat the Giants. But listen, I was looking forward to this year with Rodon. Our pitching was still weak, but as long as we have number 27, the best player in the game in the center field,
And you're welcome,
All
by
is
the way.
well.
Yeah.
You're welcome for us weaning him here.
Oh,
Down-
that's right.
He's our product.
He's one of us. I go to Millville
Jersey.
and Vineland. Vineland and Millville are right next to each
Yeah.
other. And you know what Vineland's known for? It's the eggplant capital of the world. Most of the fruits and produce
It's one of
grow
the
out
greatest emojis on your phone, too, the eggplant.
The eggplant,
Yeah.
absolutely. But out there out there in the Central Valley, that's where all of our produce and all of our lettuce.
Near Fresno, you're talking
Yeah,
about, right?
in the-
Modesto, right?
Exactly. Where else? Where else do they grow stuff out there?
Salinas.
Salinas.
See, I know California.
All the broccoli rabe comes
Right.
from out there. Do
Yeah.
you realize that?
And artichokes.
And artichokes. Nobody eats broccoli rabe in California. They ship it all to the East because all the Italians use it in everything.
Right, but the avocados are from Mexico.
Yeah, everything's. No, I mean, all those warmer climates, you're going to have opportunities to grow in multiple seasons, except here, I started my garden.
Well, listen, when the
I got
weather
it going,
gets
man.
better, you guys come out to Orange County to do a show when the weather gets better again. We're playing baseball again at the stadium.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
When the All-Star game was in Anaheim a few years ago,
2010.
we did the shows there. We did them in the bar up on the second level with Tim Cates and the whole gang. We were live.
You want to grow things here,
Yes.
Tony, you need a heat lamp. You
I
know what I mean?
I need a heat lamp for a lot of things.
You're going to try to grow product indoor.
I got it. I got all the product. I got all the seeds started.
Yeah?
I got
They
a good
sell
crop.
those lights at Home Depot
For a
now.
long time, right?
Yeah.
You and Robin worked together for years, right?
Yeah, that's where I met Robin, 2008. In
You met her in 2008?
in
Where?
Southern California,
LA?
down there in Venice Beach. She was on the beach. She had a sign, "Will work for radio work." And
You said, "Get into my car."
I said,
Yeah.
"Get into the back seat, baby." I had a 360Z, so I didn't have a back seat.
Oh, yeah?
Just like Billy
Is that a
Ocean.
Nissan?
I am a Meshuggah.
Is that a
yes.
Nissan?
It was a Nissan. It was the first three, and I got it down. I was doing commercials for a dealership down there. What was the great dealer down there?
That was before I started
the
working with
Nissan dealership on the 405, all the way down toward Orange County. Great place.
Oh, hold on here. Oh, there's a few of them down here. Nissan 405 Orange County down
Yes.
Costa Mesa?
Yes.
Too far.
Yeah, Costa
I know
Mesa.
the
That's
area
where.
well.
Yeah, Costa Mesa. That's where the Nissan dealership there.
I think it was Costa Mesa
I
Nissan.
drove the first 350Z, and I was in LA. Everybody's got Benzes and all these
Right.
great cars.
Bentleys.
So I had the first convertible 350Z, black with brown leather interior, and I would park it, and all the people with Benzes and Maseratis.
I think it was a 280Z.
No, it's a 360Z.
I've never heard of a 350.
There was no 280Z.
Yeah.
No, the one I had
280Z.
was the 3.
It was a prototype.
Wait a minute. So, Tony, where are you now? Are you in L.A. or are you back?
No, I'm back in Philly. I moved back home. I moved back to the same street that I grew up on.
Here, Santa Monica?
I was living in Venice. I was living in Venice, man.
You lived in Venice.
You're talking about the 370Z.
No, it wasn't a 350.
No?
It was. This is 2003, Robin.
Yeah.
2003, the first one that came out. I had the first one delivered in California.
From 2002 to 2009, they made this car.
Yeah, and I had the first one in California in 2003 or 4, whatever the first year was. And I remember driving that, and everybody had all these fancy cars, and they would see my car pull up and say, wow, what is that? Anyway, Gary, I don't want enough about my cars.
Guys, listen, welcome to Sirius. Great to have you on. I'll call you time to time and check in. And we'll get you back out to the OC, Tony. You could test drive some more Nissans.
I need to get down there, man. I need it bad.
Get out here, man. Let me know.
All right, bro.
Didn't you say it was this brown color?
No, it was black.
No, black with probably that camel-colored interior, the leather.
The brown leather seats.
Yeah.
I'm
Corinthian leather? Was it rich Corinthian leather?
It was good, I'm telling you. And you want to talk about chick magnets.
There you go.
There was my car right there.
Yeah,
that may be my one. It's the 350Z convertible.
Yeah.
2007 Nissan.
Yeah, there's no back seat in there.
No, well, there is actually. But
there is,
you
but
really
it's got to
can't.
be about this big.
I could get my golf clubs in there. I know that. That's the only thing I can get in that car.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we're coming back. You know who's going to join us next? Jim Nance, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what you're going to be hearing when Jim Nance comes on? Because we always do fake Jim Nances. We had Jose do it yesterday. Mm-hmm. But when you hear this, you know what that means. It's a tradition unlike any other. Jim Nance is going to join us. He's not at Augusta. He's home at Pebble Beach, and he'll join us next right here. Tony Bruno, Harry Mays, Miss Robin, the whole gang, Joe and Joe on Sirius XM 211.
Joe, I want to do a sound level check for this Jim Nance interview just coming back. Hang on. Let me just make sure that
Hello, friends. Philly Cheese says, Harry Nance may not say hello to Harry. He's too serious.
It's one of my favorite things of
Okay,
the
that
whole
sounds
year.
pretty good. That's a good level, right?
I know.
Okay. Good.
So we're coming out of this.
Just right into the interview with the Masters music.
This has the return music on it already. The return to the show music is right on this stop set.
Right.
Okay. So
now back to Tony and Harry. You're going to bring.
I'll just bring that, and there's a little bit of the Masters music
Yeah,
right
it
at
starts,
the beginning.
the Masters music starts the segment.
So I'll come in hot, and then you can just fade down that after the return audio.
Right. So now back to Tony and
Perfect.
Harry. We'll drop
And then
the audio.
perfect, and I'll start it right up. Okay.
The one thing ties in with, talking about truckers, but also songs you listen to them years later. Convoy by C.W. McCall's one of those songs.
Yes.
Now it's like, they're talking about fighting cops.
Oh, I
they're
know.
talking about battle, but you have kids singing the chorus, so it's like, this is fun. And then you actually pay attention, like, oh, dear God.
I know.
You know
When
who C.W. McCall was or is?
Is he an advertising guy or something?
No, he's the guy that was the lead singer of what song did he do? He was like, he had famous hits before he did that. That was a
before that, yeah, it was a spoof. It was a spoof song, right?
He did not the other the Christmas song groups, not
Not
the first one.
Oh, not Trans-Siberian or Mannheim Steamroller.
Mannheim Steamroller. Okay. He's the leader of Mannheim.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
C.W. McCall's Convoy.
He's the actual CEO, composer, originator of Mannheim Steamroller. And he's made so much money off of that, and he has this amazing ranch.
It's really the guy from Mannheim. What's his name? His real name?
William Dale Fries Jr.
Yeah,
I
Freeze.
took Robin to see him in Wilmington at some theater when we first moved back there, that Mannheim Steamroller, in a little theater in Wilmington. The Trans-Siberian, their show is not as big. Trans-Siberian Orchestra is massive. Have you ever seen them, Hank?
No, I know.
They've
what they are.
They've got violins and they got gigantic
Mickey
fireworks.
Mickey Delaney has no faith in me now. He says, Robin, keep your hands off the phone during this interview. Don't worry.
JMJ Direct?
Yeah, it's buddy of mine, John Clough.
Coming up.
Return in 30.
Oh, that's right. We don't have to.
Yeah, you guys.
I wonder if that's a good advertising category. Companies that are looking to reach truckers.
Oh,
Yeah.
Truckers have to be Sirius Radio.
Oh, absolutely.
I guess I'll kill your mics also going to the Twitch, so it's just.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're dark till 4:40.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on Sirius XM 211.
You know, I usually come on and start saying this, but why not have the man who actually does say it when this theme is playing on CBS and every other year except this one, perhaps later on in the fall, Mr. Jim Nance, ladies and gentlemen, in the 16th Tower.
What a nice introduction that was, and hello, friends, and welcome to this tradition unlike any other.
Not the Masters, the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on Sirius XM 211.
But it doesn't get any better than this. Sit back and enjoy.
I've come out of hibernation, and so has...
Trying to give you guys a little radio gold. But there's something about that undercurrent, that music, that just instinctively my voice drops down a little bit out of respect and reverence and the feel and emotion of all the things that have taken place there at Augusta. And it's a good place to be. I feel like that music follows me everywhere I go at times, because I do have people that come up and ask me about it, ask me about narrating against it, asking me to just randomly walking through an airport, hey, will you say the line? Which line is that? You know, tradition unlike any other. And I hear that orchestration, that melody playing in my head, and try to deliver the line and give them what they want.
Exactly, and we do it all the time, even when the Masters isn't going on, because Harry's a big golf guy. I love golf. And so that's one thing, Jim, of all the great things that you've done in your career, when everybody plays the Masters theme or one shining moment or NFL music. I mean, you do so many great things, a Hall of Fame legend out there in the Bay Area, and, of course, Carolina, then to Texas and to CBS for 34 years. You know, and I was thinking today, the one thing you're missing is the ceremonial first shot would be occurring today if the Masters were actually being played.
I'm well aware of it, and believe me, I've already been reminded by text at least a dozen times, and I've already had a few phone calls about it as well. It's one of my favorite things of the whole year. I know some are going to say, what's Nance talking about now? But I'm sorry, this is just where I come from, what's in my heart. But I love that opening moment to the Masters tournament. I've seen it 34 straight years since I showed up in '86. I've never missed it, and that's where we would have been on this Thursday morning to watch Jack and Gary get the tournament started. Now, what is it? What is it about it that makes it so special to see the sun coming up and a chill in the air and two legends standing on the first tee, introduced by Chairman Fred Ridley? You know, there's just a lot of like symbolism there that this sport cares about. Now, every sport's different. I know baseball loves its history and its heritage, and I'm into history and heritage and context and all that. But when you can remember your heroes once a year, you can see them. It gives you a little bit of measurement of time, the passage of time. You look at them, and all they do is hit one shot each off that first tee. I feel the pressure for them, by the way, because it's early, it's cold. I mean, my goodness, Jack turned 80 back in January, and Gary's a couple years older than Jack, a little bit older than Jack. Might not be quite 2 full years. His birthday's November 1st. It's just the symbolism of it. It strikes a chord for me. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea to go get nostalgic and all that, and some people take issue with it. But if you're just being real, if you're telling people how you feel, I'm sorry, that's just who I am, and I love that ceremony.
Well, Jim, speaking of legends, Tiger Woods would be into his defense of last year's Masters title and looking for number 16 as far as majors go. Now he's going to have to wait until November, at least for the Masters. What are your thoughts on a Masters taking place in November?
I'm pretty excited about it, Harry. I really am. I'm optimistic that somehow, some way, I'm not a scientist. Nobody's paying Dr. Nance over here to tell him how these projections are all going to work out. I try to interpret these curves and peaks and all that on my own, and I go on that website at least a couple times a day, the one that the White House task force, the Faucis and the Burks refer to all the time, and I look at the data. It changes every day. I'm optimistic that we're going to be in a much better place, and hopefully that translates to some sense of normalcy as close as we can get it to in the short term, in the somewhat near short term, that things are going to be a whole lot better, a whole lot less suffering. And then way down the food chain in the overall worldview comes this world that the three of us are lucky enough to live in, making a living on the back of sport. How we've made a living out of it, Tony's got a studio down in his wine cellar, for God's sake. That is so over the top. And I love it. But no, I'm optimistic that somehow, some way, we're going to figure out a way, not we, but the world will figure out a way to get things playing again when we get the world in a much safer place. And November, to have that dangling out there, to look at it down the road, what a wonderful thing. This is the season of hope, after all, right? Springtime. Look it up. Look in the dictionary. I guarantee it's one of the first things it'll say is a word to describe it. Hope.
The interesting thing is people will be complaining in November, hopefully if the Masters comes off. There's no azaleas. Oh, no, look at this. How can you do this? They've destroyed the tradition unlike any other.
It's nothing but pine straw.
Pine straw all over the place. Who's going to go out there and rake the pine straw from the bunker at Amen Corner?
I think that everybody will be just so grateful to have the tournament played. Even though it's a different time of the year, there will be so much excitement and joy about it. And it's a feel-good event for a lot of folks. I can tell it is for the two of you. You're golf enthusiasts, you're playing the music, you're talking about it with a lot of passion and excitement. And wherever it ends up being on the calendar, people are going to relish the chance to have it again. And how about the idea that you're going to have two Masters in less than 5 months? You'll go from November the 15th, Sunday finish, to the second Sunday in April of 2021. And in less than 5 months, you're going to have two first tee shot ceremonies. You're going to have two, amazingly competitive and thrilling and dramatic final rounds. 2 times to see the green jacket presented to the champion. Could somebody actually win it twice in less than 5 months? How about that storyline you're going to see next April? It's just fascinating to think about all the possibilities, and I'm just thrilled that they found a new date.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I know you've got some programming coming up on CBS this weekend to fill the void, which we'll get to. But I was thinking about, how about you host a little tournament with your backyard, the par 3, you, Sir Nick, Ian Baker Finch, and get McCord in there and a couple of Vokey wedges and some Titleist Pro V1s, and let's go to town.
I love the idea, as long as we stay 6 feet apart, which we will.
Right.
I was having a good time with Tony and his wine cellar / studio, and I've had a lot of people that have somehow, through social media and even Peyton's Place, the episode that he taped with Tom Brady in my backyard on this little par 3 replica hole that I built 5 years ago. So there's a lot of awareness that I have this little hole that truly, when I first built it, it was built for a number of reasons. One of which was to be smart and economical in cutting down on my water bills. Water is expensive out here. It's in short supply compared to most states. And when I first moved out to Pebble Beach and bought the house in 2011, I realized that I had to get a lot smarter about what I was going to irrigate and what I wasn't. So I looked at the backyard as no reason to try to green it up. Let's do something smart with it and create something that's kind of fun. And that was the first reason why that I decided to build and construct, and took 8 months to build a replica that's pretty darn close to half scale of the real seventh hole at Pebble Beach. And it's become such a fun thing and a gathering place when we've had charity events, raised a lot of money back there. But we've had a lot of really cool people that have tried to make the hole-in-one and get their name on the Rock of Fame. So short of it is, I'm at Pebble Beach right now as we speak. The resort, which I love, Pebble Beach Golf Links, the Inn of Spanish Bay, and everything else here inside the gates, as it's called, the Del Monte Forest, all the golf courses are closed. They are all closed right now, which is sad. It's the first time in a 101-year history of Pebble Beach that it's been closed. And again, hopefully it'll be reopening real soon. It's the gold standard as far as I'm concerned, as far as resorts. So if you wanted to play golf right now anywhere inside of Pebble Beach, where there are 7 golf courses, Pebble Beach, Cypress Point, Spyglass, Spanish Bay, Poppy Hills, the Shore Course at Monterey Peninsula, and the Dunes Course at Monterey Peninsula. 7 incredible courses, all within a 3-mile range. There's only one hole that is currently open at Pebble Beach, and that's the one in the backyard.
And you're going to get more than $325 just to play one hole, right? I mean, now with the demand being so great, Jim.
I'm waiting for someone to come over and say, "Hey, you got to shut that one down too." But it is on the property, and the greatest joy that I have. That came off really way too smarmy. I want to apologize for that. I was trying to have some fun with it. But,
no, people get it. I mean, everybody's having. We're having fun here, Jim. We're having fun.
I'm having fun. I'm not trying to be. I was trying to draw a parallel to your over-the-top, crazy, extravagant wine cellar studio. I was just trying to take a lower end version of that and have some fun with it.
Well, we're suffering here. The liquor stores are closed, so I can't even go out and add to it as the collection is dwindling here. I can't even get some of the great zins from Napa and Sonoma and all my great California wines that I love having shipped here. They're not shipping anything, and even the stores here are closed, Jim. We're in a dire situation here.
We're going to, depending on the state, I have to look at the state laws on this. We're going to send you a little replenishment to both of you with the calling wine that I'm so proud to have been a part of with my friend Peter Deutsch. So I would love your feedback on that. We'll get some addresses when we close this thing down.
Absolutely.
But I was going to say this about this little 53-yard hole in the backyard. One of the joys, and I'm going to say this again, under the heading of knowing where we are in the world and grieving for those who, at this very serious time, have lost loved ones who are in the battle. And it's a worldwide tragedy playing out before us. But you've heard it. Everyone's heard it. Everyone's listened has heard it or said it. That you try to find some silver lining and you try to find some of the good things that have come out of this, if that's possible. And it always gets back to usually the same thing: the reconnection with friends, but primarily the family time that we're all getting to spend. Because we've been in this race, this treadmill of life, running and doing what we're obligated to do, what we love to do. And you've never really been in almost a shutdown mode. So we've hit this pause button on life, and you're recalibrating now how you're going to spend your time and how you want to allocate all those precious moments in your life, and hopefully doing it more fully in the future instead of being half committed to it. And short of it is, I've got 2 young kids and my oldest daughter here, 3 kids, all here under this roof. What a joyous time it's been for me to spend with Caroline Finley and Jameson. And my little boy is the youngest. He's just turned 4. And during this time, he's taken to golf. So we've been hitting golf balls with the little plastic wiffle golf balls around the front yard. He can fly it if he really connects it about 50 to 60 yards with a almost golf ball, it's called. So he's been back on that tee in the backyard, and yesterday he knocked it on the green for the first time ever. Now, that was one of the little simple pleasures and joys of my life. I'll never forget it. Mm-hmm. And watching him, without trying to be over-coaching him, it's been so much fun to see him. Hey, Daddy, let's go hit some golf balls. I didn't expect it would happen this early, that a new 4-year-old.
No, that is awesome.
What a treasure.
Stuff.
That's one little simple pleasure in all of this.
Absolutely. That's why I say to Harry, hey, Harry, let's go hit some golf balls, Daddy. And then we can't do anything. Jim, I know that the big weekend, and I love watching replays of golf, and this weekend on CBS all over the place wherever you want to go, whether it's online with the All Access, where you can get it anywhere, or over the air at CBS and all the different CBS platforms. Saturday it starts the re-air of the 2000 and actually the first one is going to be an hour special on Saturday, the 2004 Masters. And then,
no, 75.
That's 75.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. The Saturday at 1:30 to 2:30, the 75 Masters with Jack and Johnny Miller and Tom Weisskopf.
That's a documentary look back, yes.
Exactly. And then on Saturday after that, you'll re-air the entire 2004 Masters, Phil's first major, and you sat down with Phil and did a Zoom, so there'll be enhanced stuff to it. It'll be you doing the whole crew and doing the 2004 final. I'm sorry, I keep messing this up. The 2004 final round, but you got Phil and you on a Zoom session being plugged in throughout the final round. Correct?
You said it. Actually, you said it dead on, and that's what I really wanted to articulate was that it's not an interview with Phil. It's actually Phil doing segments at 10 minutes at a time. Not every segment, but maybe every third segment we come back and we'll do a chunk of the broadcast, basically doing play-by-play and color.
Did he get excited though? Did he get excited on the back nine there when the Ernie Els thing came down to the drama and then that 18-foot birdie? Does he go crazy again? Can he recreate that feeling from 2004?
Please give me some feedback after you see the show and watch how giddy he is and his attention to detail, even 16 years down the road, of what was happening, not only with his game and his situational moments, what he had to do, how he was processing the win or the leaderboard, whatever it might have been, but to hear him talk about other players on the golf course, because, again, we're following along the actual broadcast feed. It's not re-edited. So when it cuts off of Phil and it goes to Ernie or it goes to KJ Choi or, whoever it might have been that was in contention at that moment, we call that too. There's nothing that's being changed about the order of the broadcast. It's cut from here to there. Phil was on his computer at home about 300 miles south of me here in California. I'm in my office, and we're watching it together. We're squeezed into our own little separate box with the center screen being the actual broadcast feed, and, I mean, he was just amazing. I mean, if he ever wants to get into broadcasting, which, and I don't know that he ever would, but he would be absolutely tremendous. And then on Sunday, I think you were going to go there,
yes.
Tony, so I don't mean that.
No, I'll let you do it because you did this. It's brilliant. You're the guy who did it, and that's what I'm looking forward to because we've seen it, and as great as Tiger's comeback was last year, to have you and Tiger do it again along with the broadcast, something I'm looking forward to.
I went in not really sure how much time they would want to devote to it, and then I realized pretty quickly these guys were committed to making this thing extra special. So we're talking over a couple of hours of taping via Zoom. Now, the CBS Broadcast Center is closed. So this feed is being recorded. I can't even say where it's being recorded. But we had Andy Friedman, who was taking the Zoom feed. He is in North Carolina. Sellers Shy, who will be actually stitching that show together, is in Memphis. Brian Kozowski's doing the Tiger Show, and he's out on Long Island. And you have all this different sourcing, and it's being edited in people's homes. And I'm having segments, by the way, as they get knocked off and polished. They're sending them to me down the link, and it's just amazing to look at how people get so creative at a time like this without having all the benefits of technology and being in a broadcast center and editing bays and all that. We don't have that. But let me get back to your point. Tiger comes on Sunday, and it's a 5.5-hour show. It comes on at 12:30 Eastern. And we welcome Tiger really early into the broadcast. We get the show started just as we did a year ago when we came on at 9 a.m. Remember, it was an early start last year because of impending weather. But we get Tiger involved, and he comes in when play is at the 6th. Play comes through the 9th, down at Amen Corner at 12, where the whole tournament went wild and crazy and where 4 balls ended up into the water out of the last 2 groupings. We've got Tiger on 16. We got Tiger coming off the 18th. I mean, it's an amazing thing to hear his insight on Sunday, Phil's insight on Saturday. And you'll see they took a lot of time with this, and this is a real look into a deep, deep brush through two magnificent Masters tournaments, two of the best of all time.
Hey, Jim, given that win by Tiger last year, his fifth Masters, the first in 14 years, coming back from all he came back from, both emotionally and physically, where does that moment rank on your all-time sports moments?
Well, Harry, I get asked this, what's my favorite Masters of all time? But I could just forget Masters, so let me go, because my world these days is thankfully the NFL, college basketball, as it has been all these years. But the scene a year ago Sunday on the 18th green when Tiger knocked it in and the family was waiting for him, and you couldn't help but recall 97 when his father and mother were there waiting for him to hug with his dad. Juxtapose that to 22 years later, and now Tiger's the father, and there is his son, and the intensity of the hug between them. I mean, it was really touching. It was emotional. He headed down to Butler Cabin, of course. Eventually, we played out the scene, and Nick and I think, did the smart thing. We didn't say anything for a couple of minutes. That would have been a terrible mistake, trying to insert himself into that scene. And it played out. He got down to the cabin. I asked him a year ago in Butler Cabin ceremony what that moment meant when you were hugging your family. And he answered it pretty stoically, to be honest. Well, this time around, here we are a year later, and I guess I chalk it up to being a little bit in shock at the moment, and trying to process it. If you're Tiger or you're anyone else, it's just won the Masters. It's all so close, you can't really put it into words. But even Tiger says it on this broadcast Sunday. He gets emotional. He said, I'm emotional right now talking about it. I could hear the crack in his voice. I'm not trying to say he was crying and bawling. It's not that. But you could definitely tell the emotion when I circled back and asked him now that he looks at that again a year later and all that interaction with his family, with his mom, with his girlfriend Erica, Samantha's daughter, Charlie, the son. It's about as much emotion as I've ever seen Tiger express, to be honest. And good for him for letting us in on how it really did touch him. I can remember a year ago in the cabin, again, he played it pretty straight. I was torn up watching it. I know a lot of viewers were. And some people said, there was Nance trying to make Tiger cry. I'm not ever trying to make Tiger cry. I'm trying to live the moment. And, I had to ask him about that scene with his family. I wasn't trying to make him cry. Never trying to make anybody be uncomfortable or take them to a point they don't want to be. But it was pretty rewarding and fascinating at the same time to see Tiger a year later open up a little bit about that scene. Like we all, now he expressed it like we all did at the time when we were watching it. I mean, you guys, what did you think when you saw that?
I'm crying now.
Crying
you're
right
making
now.
me cry, Jim. You're making me cry again, and I'm going to watch it this weekend. And I got to tell you, I want to thank you so much because, when you're doing a bunch of interviews in one day and, don't do more than 10 minutes, we could talk all day, and I really, really appreciate it because we can tell how much you love doing this and how much it means to you. And so we really appreciate you coming on here and spending all this time with us, and I'm sure the audience enjoyed it as well. But, Jim, one last time.
There it is. There's that melody. Maybe I'm just hearing things because it's, as I said, it's always playing on a loop inside my mind. Is this for real, or am I just hearing it in my head?
No, it's for real. The only thing we don't have is the birds, and we don't have the pimento sandwiches because I'm on a keto diet and I can't have pimento sandwiches.
And I tell you, I loved our visit. You took me to a very good place. It made me feel like I was experiencing the Masters, being able to talk about it and hearing your love for it, your passion, both of you. Hear the music, the whole thing. You gave me a nice Masters experience at this time, and these are the little tiny joys that we all need right now. So I will say goodbye. I can tell you're running to a break, but you guys take care of yourselves. Stay at home, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay positive. That's my message. We will get through this, and I look forward to when we do, visiting with you guys again. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Jim Nance.
Thank you, Jim.
Really, really an honor and a privilege and a joy to have you on today. Thank you, bud.
Great fun. Thank you, guys. All the best. And please email us each of your homes. I'm going to send you a little bottle of our cap and see what you think. It's Sonoma produced.
Can't wait.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All the best.
There he is.
Bye-bye.
Jim Nance, everybody. A tradition unlike any other. Taking us out of hibernation. And also a return to glory on the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on Sirius XM 211.
Listen to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern
On Dan Patrick Radio, Channel 211.
and with the Sirius XM app.
How do you want to do this last? And your mics are hot to twitch again. Okay. How do you want to do this last segment? Similar to the last.
Yeah, how much time will we have?
Well, we're going to be back around 45, 46, somewhere in there, and then we can go all the way up to the 50.
So are we doing 2 breaks or 1 break?
Well, what do you want? What do you want to do?
Whatever you need. What do you need me to do?
Well, I think we do one at the end like we did, and then get into the 5 o'clock hour.
Clean. Yeah. Agreed. So just do a short.
2 breaks the other day, and it was choppy as shit.
I thought so too.
So if you're back at 45 or 46, you're going to go to the same 58-20.
So we have time for just one phone call probably if somebody calls in. I'll open up the lines.
Open those sons of bitches up,
All right, you Twitch people. I'm opening up the lines in case you want to get in now.
I'm getting ripped all over the Twitch board, though, which is an outrage.
How are you getting ripped for a fantastic, fantastic interview?
It wasn't even an interview. It was a conversation.
It was a conversation.
Philly Cheese says Harry hasn't been this excited since 1938 Christmas morning with Lincoln
I don't know
Logs.
who Philly Cheese 2020 is, but
he's having fun. He's not like a vicious bastard
No.
like some people are.
He is good-naturedly ribbing.
Twitch people. You people.
It
you
was
Twitch people.
It was a conversation unlike
any
any other
other.
Fairweather Marvin. Jason 2000. We like the 1 break.
Exactly right, man. Who's the one guy that ripped me here? Where is he here?
I don't know. Call in. All right.
We're not using any of those. I could get some of those. I resisted those.
What?
I said there's an uptick in
direct people reacting to them or airing them?
Reacting to what?
Direct response. We could take a bunch of direct response ads.
Yeah.
We don't get any money. We get paid. We get paid on the response.
Oh.
Yeah. But the show is.
But
those direct response commercials have the number 5 times. 1-800-439.
Especially for the My Pillow and stuff.
Sky Low, this is the guy. Sky Low Flow 4 says Nance with his sentimental BS thumbs down, and then he says Bruno loves to suck up. It wasn't sucking up to him; it was giving him love.
It's a mutual admiration.
Guy's a legend. He's not some schlep doing like public access TV on the weekends.
Bill Mill Hill says, when are you going to land a...
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on Sirius XM 211.
Oh, man. How many times have I said, Harry Mays, that I love the interaction with people? Whether it's on the Twitter feed, at Tony Bruno Show. Follow me, at Tony Bruno Show on Twitter. Instagram is at Tony Bruno Show 1.
I need to... Hopefully sometime I can get that back. We lost the Tony Bruno Show.
Some sons, you know what?
Yeah.
Stole it years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
But they're not using it. They just stole it.
Well, they just took it, so they want you to pay them for it.
No, I'm not paying. No, this isn't like a webcam or web address. Like if you want to get TonyBrunoShow.com,
right?
I did. I finally got it, but I had to get TonyBrunoShow.com because somebody bought TonyBruno.com.
Right.
But on Instagram, nobody's buying for Instagram names.
Oh, sure they are.
Yeah, they are.
I'm not paying for it. So it's Tony Bruno 1. The other Tony Bruno's a fake.
Tony Bruno Show 1.
Oh, Tony Bruno Show 1.
Right.
On Instagram.
You only get one.
But other than that, your Tony Bruno Show on everything except for the one. Although the good thing is when you do a search for Tony Bruno, your stills come up. So
exactly. Meanwhile, we got other stuff going on here. Coming up in the next hour, Jay Wright's going to join us then. We got some good, interesting updates here. Well, they're good, interesting, I don't know. They're interesting to me. Hopefully they're interesting to you. Did you see what's coming up on April 13th, next Monday night? Oh, wait a minute. We got Harry Donahue on the line.
I see that. He just called in.
Speaking of broadcast professionals and greats, Hall of Famer in Pennsylvania, Temple Sports Hall of Fame, and, of course, the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, longtime news anchor at KYW News Radio, the news center on your radio dial with news the minute you want it.
Yeah, he just got his name added to the Ring of Fame at Liacouras Center for Temple.
Exactly right. The great Harry Donahue. Harry, how are you, buddy?
Tony, Harry, I'll tell you what, that was probably some of the most informational and touching radio I've heard in a long time with Jim Nance. That was outstanding, guys.
No, you do a golf show, so you understand golf. I mean, you host a show on NBC Sports Philly. You've done a lot of golf stuff in your day. You play golf. And, Jim Nance is a legend. When we get people like that to come on the show who we know, and you can hear that it wasn't, fake. I mean, he's sitting there looking at Pebble Beach and realizing there's no golf anywhere.
Let me tell you, I had the chance, the invitation to attend Jack Whitaker's memorial service. Jack passed away, of course, last summer. They had a memorial service at Marion. And Jim Nance delivered it. And he was Jack's hero. And Jack was his hero, I mean to say, and really a mentor. And to hear him today talk about the Masters, and of course the Masters meant so much to Jack Whitaker until he was removed from doing the kind of brought everything together. And Jim's a New Jersey native originally. I remember the first time I met Jim Nance. He was doing BYU football, and they came in to play Temple with Robbie Bosco. This was back in the 80s.
Wow.
And it was, what was unusual about that, guys, that game? That game started at like 9 o'clock at night because they were playing at the Vet, and the Phillies had an afternoon baseball game. And they transformed the field into a football field, and then after the game, they brought it back to baseball so the Phillies could complete the series on Sunday afternoon. But Jim did the game back to Utah. I think he was working in Salt Lake and covering BYU football, and I was doing Temple games at the time. It was quite an experience.
The great Harry Donahue joining us, talking about golf and the Masters and no golf. Now, even like your golf shows and all the golf shows that are being produced, they're all shut down. You can show reruns. Although, if somebody makes a good putt, you want to see that over and over again. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, Harry's been on the show.
Yeah.
I got to get you on the show, Tony. We're going to do it maybe from the wine cellar one day.
Well, it's hard to drive down here. I can putt down here, but I can't take a full backswing. I only have a 7'2" ceiling.
Yeah.
Can I park in the middle of Broad Street and walk over to...
Well, the good thing is you can park anywhere now because they're not giving anybody any tickets.
There you go. Hey, you guys, Harry, I sent you a text. I don't know if you got it. You're going to have Jay
Yeah,
right
Jay,
on.
yeah.
Ask him about his first job after he got out of college in Bucknell. He was a coach.
The Philadelphia
He was on the
Stars.
football team. The Philadelphia Stars. Vince Papale and I did the play-by-play, and Jay was like doing everything for Carl Peterson, who was the general manager and president. Jim Maurer was the head coach.
Yep.
You talk about 2 great years, and Jay Wright could tell you about it because he was there.
I didn't know Jay was, because I remember that team well. I still have a USFL autographed football from that Philadelphia. Chuck Fusina was the quarterback from Penn State. The running back. Kelvin Bryant, former Washington Redskin, was
North
a running
Carolina,
back.
he went to
Bart
college,
Oates,
yeah. Yeah, right.
former Giant great, was on that team. A lot of Hall of Famers on that team.
Sean Landetta was on that team.
Punting,
Scott Pinsky. It was great. Well, you ask Jay, he'll remember it all. And then some. He and Vince, I think, roomed together for a little bit. That's probably going to be a chapter in his book someday.
Well, he's certainly a legendary guy and a Hall of Famer, no doubt about that. Just like you are, Harry. Just like you, Harry. Take care,
Thanks, Harry.
There he is, the great Harry Donahue, ladies and gentlemen, voice of Temple University football, basketball, anything, golf.
Inside golf. is the name of the
I like
TV
to go
show.
outside golf,
Yeah.
though. The inside game doesn't really do much for me, Harry. You know what I mean?
That's all we got right now, though, Tony. You know, guys are rigging up little contraptions in their houses.
Now, the outsource, like the ranges, they're not even open,
No,
right?
I don't think so. Not
you
around
can separate.
here.
You have a couple of you have a couple separations when you're in one of those
stalls.
Yeah.
They're like stalls, and people
why don't you just
That's
alternate?
like 10 feet.
They're at least 6 feet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Apart. I know. I'm just saying. I guess they don't want people working there. They don't want you touching the ball. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's an outrage, is what it is.
I guess
an outrage.
Yes.
I guess it's just easier to shut everything down.
Not for me,
Yeah.
man. I hate shutting it down.
Obviously.
Irv Eatman, who's a friend of the show. And
he was on the Stars.
Irv
yeah.
Eatman was on that team.
Right.
We go back and forth on Twitter.
They won a couple of championships.
Yeah, I've got the football somewhere. Philadelphia Stars, USFL. They had some good players in that league. Solid league. And Jim Moore was the head coach. How about that? And you don't remember Chuck Fusina at Penn State, do you?
Yeah, I do. He was number 14, I believe. Didn't he have Gooman and Geis as his running backs? Late 70s?
I was never really a big Penn State fan back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, like Franco Harris and those guys, but I don't remember I remember Gooman. He was a fullback, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Mike
and then they had
Gooman.
the Suey brothers, right? Weren't there a couple Sueys that were fullbacks for Penn State? Kind of in a similar time frame?
Exactly. It's good knowledge there, Harry.
Dude.
That's what we give you on the show. You're not getting this anywhere else. But coming up on Friday night now, what time are we going to here now, Joe? The break?
We're going to 58:20.
All right, so we're gonna sweep right through here for another 7 minutes. If you want to call in, we have open lines too. 215-462-TONY, 215-462-8669. But I've been playing this a lot, and people say they're getting tired of it.
What's that?
But they really aren't, Harry.
You're going to decide whether somebody's tired of something.
It's not over yet. You know what's still around, Harry? Yes. God. Just when you thought it was safe to get away from the Tiger King, ladies and gentlemen, there's more. You wanted more? No, not on Netflix.
Well, he's now become political. You know that, right?
Well, he ran for president and he ran for
governor.
governor.
No.
We got something else from yesterday.
From yesterday.
Well, let me give you the first update
Okay.
first. This is the breaking news.
Right.
Yesterday's yesterday. Monday night on Fox, April 13th at 9 o'clock. Set your DVRs.
So it's network TV.
This is on Fox. This is
Okay.
not Netflix.
Okay.
No, on Fox. Monday night, not Monday Night Football. TMZ investigates Tiger King. What really went down? I wonder if they're bringing, since it's on Fox, they're bringing Geraldo Rivera to go into the cell to go see if he can find the Tiger King.
What he needs to do is he needs to go to Carol, what's-her-face's property.
Carol Baskin.
Baskin's property and find the body of her ex. Not ex.
That
her
body
dead.
was eaten by tigers. You're not going to find that body.
How do you know it was eaten by tigers? Isn't it in the storm drain in the sewer?
She ground it up. Do you remember what they were showing? Like
how they ground the meat?
How they grind meat?
Oh.
We got to wait till Monday night. We got to wait now because there was a Tiger King. I didn't see it because I don't watch the coronavirus things anymore. I'm bored like everybody else. But yesterday at the 5 o'clock press conference,
I was watching it
with the president and everybody else. A question came up. Not about the coronavirus.
No, from a real reporter.
Yeah,
too.
this was on so C-SPAN, and this was I don't know what the reporter's name is.
No, I don't know either.
Nobody knows.
I've seen him at every one of these briefings.
But
there's the White House press corps.
Yeah, he's there all the time.
This is the big question.
This is the question. Clay Travis retweeted it. Give him credit for posting this.
Well, he stole a feed off C-SPAN
we don't have to
posted
give
it.
him credit.
Why am I giving Clay Travis? I gave him a trophy last year, and he doesn't even follow me on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Screw you, Clay Travis.
Screw him then.
Yeah. See if I give you any more trophies.
So one of the biggest rating hits of the coronavirus, aside from these briefings, has been a show on Netflix called Tiger King.
Yeah.
And the man who's the star of this is a former zoo owner who's serving a 22-year prison sentence. He's asking you for a pardon, saying he was unfairly convicted. Your son yesterday jokingly said that he was going to advocate for it, and I was wondering if you've seen the show and if you have any thoughts on pardoning Joe Exotic.
Which son? It must be Don. I had a feeling it was Don. Is that what he said? I don't know. I know nothing about it. He has 22 years for what? What did he do?
He allegedly hired someone to murder an animal rights activist, but he said that he didn't do that, and he was.
You think he didn't do it? Are you on his side?
Well,
are you recommending a pardon?
No, I'm not advocating
As a
anything.
reporter, you're not allowed to do that. You'd be criticized by these. Would you recommend a pardon?
I'm not weighing in on Tiger
I
King.
don't think you would. I don't think you would. Go ahead. You have a question? I'll take a look. Is that Joe Exotic? That's Joe Exotic.
To the coronavirus.
Oh my gosh.
That is surreal, isn't it? The President of the United States, amidst the pandemic, is being asked by Joe Exotic about Joe Exotic.
Somebody did a Photoshop of Trump's face with it's
saw
brilliant.
it, yeah.
It's absolutely
It really is good.
perfect. It is absolutely dead solid.
I love how he
perfect.
called out his own son. He goes, "It's
Don?
probably Don
Yeah.
Jr., right? Yeah,
Which
it's Don."
son?
It was Don, wasn't it?
I don't think it was Barron, although his young son Barron, who's like 12 now.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was watching
I
Tiger
think
King.
Barron's even taller than him now.
Yeah.
That is good. That's why the media, that's why we love the White House press corps. They're the real
I just want
journalists
to know
out there.
if that was Jim Acosta that he asked.
No, that
in
wasn't
the
Jim
front.
Acosta.
No, not the guy.
Oh, the
that
other
was
guy?
No,
But
the end.
remember, he was saying, "Would you ask him for a part?"
They didn't have it on camera.
No, but I'm wondering if that's because he always
I don't
calls
think
him
so.
out.
No, I don't think he would have asked Jim Acosta that question.
No.
Jim Acosta would have turned it into, the president actually asked me about Tiger King and what I think. Unbelievable, man. Oh, this is some good White House press conference coverage here. We don't normally go political. This wasn't a political thing. It was like an actual question. I didn't even see it. Let's go to our man Jeff, better known as Play Action Real. Jeff, what's going on this afternoon, man?
Hey, what up, Tony? Miss Robin, Harry, what up?
What up, yo?
Hey, I just want to call in. I'm so happy for you guys. Congratulations on the XM and of course Twitch.
Beautiful.
And hey, I'm just real quick. I just got to let you know I am essential. I'm working out here. We're working for golf courses, baby. So we're trying to keep them going in Arizona.
So the golf courses are open in Arizona?
Well, the maintenance guys are allowed to be out there.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't let the grass die.
All right.
Now, you're not at like Talking Stick where I love, Talking Stick? Have you played there?
I've never played there,
The
but I know
grass
it.
goes all the way up to the tree. There's not a dip. It's like right up to the tree, and it's perfectly manicured.
Like turf, almost like turf.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a golf course, especially in Arizona, where the grass goes right up, bam, right up against the tree. It's incredible,
That's
man.
right. I am a turf nerd, so I am here. We got the fertilizers, we got the sprinklers.
Beautiful,
so that's
man.
why I'm working. But I just had to drop a fast call for you guys.
Well,
I
be
love what
safe
you do.
out there,
Thanks
man.
for the diversion, man.
Well, thank you, and watch out for all the coyotes, and watch out for all the swamp lizards out there, and the lot lizards.
The Gila monsters.
What course is he working?
Yeah, what course?
We give everybody. We're Las Sendas. We basically sell to everybody. That's what we're doing. We're selling the irrigation.
Beautiful, man.
So, yeah,
well, make
buddy.
sure to mark your spot so the next time I go out and play, I'll know where you were.
You know it, partner. You guys have a great day.
You too, man. Thanks so much. Coming up in our 5 o'clock hour here in the East, it's happy hour.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have to pour something out today?
No,
I don't
it's
mean
Thursday.
to pour out, but pour something like a little libation.
I'd wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, let's wait till tomorrow because it's
Tomorrow's
Friday.
Good Friday. Lisa Ann will be here.
Lisa Ann, you want
Right.
to talk about sacrificing?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
John McMullen.
That's coming up tomorrow. But coming up next, the 5 o'clock hour. Stick around.
We have. So this next segment, we still have a moment for calls. Short segment. We can take a couple calls, so the lines are still open, and then we go right into our last interview.
Quick turnaround.
Last guess.
Get Harry a truly happy hour.
He doesn't do Trulies, I'm sure. Those Truly spiked seltzer waters.
White Claw and Truly.
I always think it's funny people make fun of Zima. That was malt liquor. So
I know.
That could get you really drunk.
Oh, I know. That was garbage, too.
Sissy stuff, and it's like, you could drink a lot of it really
Yeah.
fast.
You know what I remember? In high school, the big thing was the Bartles and James.
Wine coolers.
Yeah. Wine coolers were a big deal.
I was in college then.
Somebody posted this in Chicago. Guy's named Brett Craycraft. This is a sign in a Chicago pizza place. I got to find out the name of the place. I'm going to give him a plug.
It's on your Twitter feed?
Yeah, I said I would mention it on the show. So this is sitting in a pizza place in Chicago. It says, during the coronavirus outbreak, remember to remain at least 10 feet away from others. If you're wondering how far that is, Picture a Bears wide receiver, and then imagine when Trubisky actually throws the pass. The distance is about 10 feet.
That's awesome. Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on Sirius XM 211.
Hey! Sorry, I didn't mean to start it. It is now officially 5 o'clock in the East. If you're listening live on Sirius XM, Dan Patrick Channel 211, Tony Bruno, Harry Mays, Jay Wright, the Villanova coach, one of the great coaches in the country. He'll join us this hour. You know who we have coming up in the next week? Elisa Ann tomorrow, our good buddy John McMullen will talk NFL. And then next week we're going to have the great Scott Farrell.
Yes.
He's going to pop on by.
Tuesday.
Yes. Sid Rosenberg.
He's on Monday.
Zabin's coming on.
Steve Zabin, yeah.
Beautiful, man. It's going to be awesome, baby. And the huge tweet of the day. You know, Jim Rome does the huge call of the day. Huge call of the day. This is the huge tweet of the day. And it comes from Chicago. And a gentleman named Brett Craycraft posted this. He actually posted it last night.
Now, do you follow this guy?
No, I just saw it because everybody's retweeting him and saying, can I use all the networks? Can I use that on our show? Can I use that on Bleacher Report? Can I use it here? So it's an actual pizza place. Mm-hmm. It's a place called Chipmunks. It's on Diversey and Pine Grove near Sheridan in Chicago. And he says, if you want to help them out, do a takeout order. And on their, they have the tablecloth right near the cash register.
Yeah, the red and white check.
Red and white check tablecloth. And there's a sign there that says the following. During this coronavirus outbreak, remember to remain at least 10 feet away from others. If you're wondering how far that is, picture a Bears wide receiver and then imagine when Trubisky actually throws the pass. That distance is about 10 feet.
Wow.
There you go.
Oh, man. That is a blast.
Oh, an epic blast. Wow. I don't know what it was.
Now you got, Nick Foles there, too, now.
I know.
Right?
Well, Nick can throw the deep ball.
Yeah, he can.
Speaking of guys waiting around, wondering when action is going to be back. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now, somewhere with his alpacas in the backyard, the man we know is the great Philly Godfather. What's going on over there, man?
Man, just on lockdown. I'm over here at the bunker. We got the masks on the alpacas, on the shepherds. Everyone's wearing masks when we head out of town, on the street, and just bunkering down. So, man, congratulations on the show, you and Harry, two best guys on radio. Now you guys are on Sirius, and it's huge. It's massive.
Well, thank you, sir. Do you really have the mask on the alpacas? Because, a lot of people who don't know will think you're serious.
No, I'm just joking.
Okay, I just want to know.
We're out here on 10 acres, so there's no one out here breathing on us.
That's the way I like it.
Well, now I know you got a lot of grass out there, and I know, mowing the grass gives you something to do every once in a while. But when you finish mowing all the grass, what are you doing? Are you bored?
I start building a tennis court, 50 by 50 tennis court. I start framing it out. I got the concrete coming. I got my guys bringing the concrete.
How many yards? How many yards for a tennis court do you need to pour?
Oh, I don't know. It's 50 by 50. My concrete guy knows how to do the math on that because that's some difficult math, that concrete math.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. So now there's no action. Now, I was talking about a bet yesterday where you can bet on how many. There's props basically. Some guy dropped $4,000 at William Hill in New Jersey on will there be more than 3 quarterbacks taken in the first round, and I said that's a
lock.
That's a lock. So he's dropping $4,000 to win 1,000. Isn't that an easy bet? So you're not even looking at things like that right now?
Not really. I mean, it's just there's nothing going on. There's some ping pong action going on up there in Russia. The horse is shut down.
Ping pong, Russian ping pong.
William Hill is taking action on ping pong. So if you got that degenerate gene in you, man, start firing. I'm not. I'm just taking it easy. I bet some futures. I ended up getting Tampa Bay at 50-1 before they announced Brady. So that was good.
What is it at now?
I think it's down to 12-1.
Wow, 50-1 to 12.
Yeah, it's down there. They're going to keep loading up, so expect that team to be dangerous. The Eagles, surprisingly, are right behind them at 15-1. Cowboys are at 19-1. Obviously, San Francisco, Kansas City's the favorite again. The Saints are right there also. I think they're at 9-1. But it's going to be an interesting year. Hopefully we start on time and we start firing because I ran out of Baileys today, and I didn't realize I was drinking so much coffee. So, I'm getting a little cabin fever here.
You ran out of berries. What kind of berries? Coffee?
No, Bailey's.
Oh, Bailey's.
Bailey's coffee.
You can buy. Oh, you can't buy booze in Jersey, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
You can go over right near you there in Glassboro. A landmark liquor is right there, right down the street from you.
Well, I loaded up like a month and a half ago. I went out there and spent a couple of dimes on liquor because I kind of thought this was coming. I went out and bought 250 pounds of meat for my buddy from down there at City View Pizza. A bunch of cheeses. I mean,
you got to have meats and cheeses.
Yeah,
Kenny Mayne used to say that. Bring us your finest meats and cheeses.
I spent a couple dimes on liquor, and it's already gone.
Wow.
I spent like 20 cents on a shot the other night, but it was rot gut stuff. I had some Smirnoff left over, and I had to drink it.
So
Philly Godfather, I mean, it's not just gambling that he can predict ahead of time. He was predicting all of this happening, the lockdown. He was telling us about the hydroxychloroquine like a month ago or more.
But that was fake news, and it said doesn't work, because I don't know about you. If I got COVID-19 and I was in a hospital and they said to me, hey, would you want to die or would you like to risk it on taking this drug that is working for some people as far as reducing the symptoms and making you feel better? What would you do?
It's a no-brainer.
Of course it's a no-brainer.
It's crazy. People are trying to dismiss this. It's been working. Lots of doctors have gone on TV. I saw Dr. Oz today saying, obviously, you got to give it to the patient. I mean,
and the people who are against this stuff are saying, what do you got to lose? You could die. Well, you could die either way.
I heard if you get put on a ventilator in a hospital, it's like 1 in 5. Like you survive.
Well, are there odds on that? Can you bet on that?
Saying, that's what they were saying. I mean, that's really horrible.
Now there is horse racing going on though, Philly Godfather, because I'm flipping around at night after watching Nat Geo and Science Channel. I saw TVG was on, so there's still tracks running. And then of course, last night I always go to that one channel, India. In India, they still have cricket live. And guess what the name of one of the two teams were that were playing cricket last night, Harry?
I have no idea.
The Mumbai Indians.
Yes, that's what they were.
Mumbai Indians.
Now, do they have a mascot?
No, but you just get it. They're Indian.
I know.
So Luigi, if you were here, would say
he
would say the dot, not the arrows. So the actual Indians, people in India, calling themselves the Indians.
Right. Well,
they don't have a Chief Wahoo though as a logo. Yeah, they don't have that, so they're okay.
Well, they're not worried about being politically correct.
No, they're not. No, they're just worried about the sacred cows, and they're not butchering any of those. Even though I'm getting hungry for a good steak right about
Chief
now.
Nakatomo.
Chief Nakahoma.
Nakahoma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. Well, Philly Godfather, you be safe over there, man. I need action, and I need it soon.
Well, we're ready to fight. Just let me know.
All right, man.
Wait, I have to say one more thing. I am so glad to hear you sounding a little bit better than the last time we talked. You were down, man. I was worried about you.
Well, I don't get scared. I get prepared, and I was trying to get everything ready because you don't know how long this is going to go. And, we didn't have nothing to read about when it came to sports, so we started reading about this, about the COVID-19, about everything. We started setting timelines. We started looking at conspiracy theories. And the problem was everybody was lying. You don't know who to believe because this has never happened before. So all of a sudden we got all these experts about something that's never happened before. So we had to do our own research.
Yeah, that's what we always do. And I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I just listen to these so-called experts, and they've been wrong every day anyway. So you just be safe, and you just hope that you don't get it. And if you do, and you have an opportunity to get this, by the way, a drug that's been around for 60 years, and doctors will prescribe it for you if you're in that situation, I would do it, unless you want to just take a chance and say, no, I'll go without it, I'll die. It's ridiculous, man.
You got to take it. All right, guys.
By the way, Oak Lawn Park, the seventh race is about to go off. Bet on the 1-4 exacta. That's Dean in Clearwater, who bets on everything. He sits there with TVG on every day.
I'm gonna try and confer with Harry the Horse. I'll let you guys know.
Harry the Horse.
All right, beautiful. There he is. Like Philly Godfather, man. I'm at Philly Godfather, and then go to phillygodfather.com. The great Philly Godfather.
Now, I got Adam Schefter's tweet that he was waiting for confirmation on.
We have it now?
Well, he put it out 57 minutes ago, so shortly after he got off the phone with us.
Why didn't we get the breaking news? Who's not monitoring this stuff?
Well, I retweeted it a while ago, but we had Jim Nance on. Schefter tweets, speaking to people in and around college football this week, there is a strong conviction there will be college football this season. Uncertainty about when, multiple scenarios being debated, but they sound certain there still will be college football this season.
And you know who's going to be happy about that? Well, everybody who loves college
Paul
football.
Feinbaum.
And, of course,
Timmy Brando,
who we're going to get on the show,
too. Get that up. Now, by the way, the NFL just had to come out about 5 minutes ago saying that the news about Colin Kaepernick being signed by the New York Jets is false.
So even they had to get sucked into the fake SportsCenter tweet.
And then 11 Alive Sports says a Colin Kaepernick signing is from a parody account. ESPN has better graphics department than that.
Exactly.
I would hope so, yeah.
Well, let's go back to the phone. Let's go to Brian in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, where life is a lark at Willow Grove Park. Brian, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going, Tony?
You're too young for that, although the mall there is called Willow Grove Park, and
Yes.
they actually have people from they actually have the roller coaster, the carousel rides in the middle of the mall, the actual horses from the amusement park that used to be on that property back in the day. Go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry.
Where is he?
I heard him, and now he's not. Are you there, Brian?
He was there, and he disappeared.
Just disappeared.
Wow, just like that. I was mentioning, we were talking about gambling. Indiana, they recently got sports betting there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying now that the month of March, which is over, they lost out on $125 million of action.
Wow.
Not lost money. And they were hoping for their first $200 million month in bets there because there was no NCAA tournament, there was no NBA, no baseball, no hockey. And so obviously a big month for the casinos who were taking action with very little action to take. Is he back there now, Brian? Oh, sorry, Brian. I don't know what happened, man. Appreciate you hanging in.
Technical difficulties, believe me. Of all people, I understand.
What's going on today, man?
Not much. Just working my brains out. But yeah, I miss you. Miss you and Harry. Where are you going to put the sectional in the room down there?
Well, we have not a sectional, but we do have a very nice leather.
It's a nice leather couch
It's a leather sofa bed, and it's high end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got a 4-inch mattress in there.
Is that like a Natuzzi?
No, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
No. It's
quality
a
What's the big company now?
the big company, Serta.
It's got a Serta mattress.
Serta sleeper.
Serta memory foam.
No, that
sleeper.
baby will sleep 3 comfortably.
Yeah.
It's the only sofa.
3.
It's the only sleeper sofa.
Trust me, I tried it out. It works.
I'm sure.
It's the only sleeper sofa that's actually ever comfortable.
It doesn't have that middle bar. You know when you have a sleeper?
Oh, yeah.
It's got that metal bar when you lay on somebody's house and they don't have any room.
You wake up the next day and your back.
No, this thing is legit.
They finally figured out, hey, let's not put the metal bar right in the middle of somebody's back. Let's put it down lower underneath your shins.
This is as close as a sectional that will fit. Although we have a sectional upstairs, though.
Yeah, you do.
We do have a sectional from My Bob's Discount Furniture, the official furniture of the Tony Bruno Show. MyBobs.com. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, I'm familiar with their place. I was there when you were building it. So.
Wait a minute. Brian was here when we were building?
Yeah, I was your IT guy.
Oh, that's the Brian. I didn't realize it was the same Brian.
Oh, this Brian.
He's disappeared from the face of the earth. I thought you left the country or something.
He had to go undercover.
I've been working like crazy.
Gee, what are you doing? Are you making sure people aren't getting hacked like the NFL's not? Or are you actually hacking people from deep within your whatever it is you have there?
No, I'm doing some IT security stuff, and I'm doing like right now it's all VPNs and helping people work remotely from their homes and setting up people for
Zoom
doing
calls
podcasts out of their house and stuff. So, been doing a lot of that stuff.
Well, be safe up there, man. I didn't realize that you used it at the beginning. I didn't recognize your voice because I haven't talked in so long.
Yeah, I know. It's mostly my fault. I owe Luigi a call too. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Well, call him because he's waiting for you to call. And we
He's waiting for me to call him.
And we thank you for the call, man. Appreciate talking to you, man. Hope we'll see you soon when we're allowed to see you again. When will I see you again? As the 3
That's
degrees.
a song.
As the 3 degrees, I believe, say. Coming up, Jay Wright is all right. Not Nick Wright. Jay Wright. Right here. Tony Bruno, Harry Mays on Sirius XM 211.
I have some breaking fan news, Tony Bruno.
What happened?
Mike Vick's Smoothie, a.k.a. Tebow's Pretzel, a.k.a. Footlong Foals.
Yeah, he is all the same guy?
All the same guy. Positive breaking news. We had a baby girl last week, Daisy Grace Hoffman.
No way.
Yeah, here's a picture of her. She is long.
Wow, it's not the length. Mike Vick Smoothie.
He's very active, or he was. I'm sure he'll be active again.
What's his real name?
Oh,
he has his name.
I only know him as Mike Vick Smoothie, actually, to tell you the truth.
Now, what was the other one? Footlong Falls is another one. Now, that one's still active, I think.
I don't think I've ever.
Well, look at the storm damage in Berks County here. Some pictures.
They've had some bad today.
Wow.
Are we calling Jay or is he calling?
Oh, you did? Okay.
Oh, look, there's a Rita's water ice sign down.
Actually,
what street is that?
Don't give it to me right now because we're going to be.
What street that is? Is that in Reading or is that in Philly? No, that's Reading. It's Berks County. It's got to be Reading. We didn't get any of that. It was supposed to be on around till 7 o'clock.
I have these two numbers for Coach. Don't say it out loud. Which one is the one that?
I have no idea. I gave him our number.
Oh.
Is he calling us?
Weren't you texting him?
No, I emailed.
Oh.
I have his number in my phone.
Yeah, and I texted him. I didn't hear back from him, so I don't.
Went through the proper channels.
Well, I've never had to do that before.
Mike Sheridan.
Wow, New York State now has more confirmed coronavirus cases than any other country in the world outside of the United States.
Oh, our lawyer, Dan Lust, who's, by the way, have you heard Dan Lust on with us before?
Yeah, Harry used to have him on with Aton, right?
Oh, okay. He's awesome. Interesting. He has a couple of interesting angles within the law regarding the shutdown and NBA's deadline and litigation risk. I'll get him on next week, maybe. Can you just turn programming back on for now? Oh, just go ahead because we don't really have much to talk about. So just go ahead and put it back on.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on Sirius XM 211.
Some of our friends on Twitter, the great Brenda Marie, Brendy85, up there in the Reading area, Berks County, sending some pictures of downed trees and downed telephone poles. The weather that's been coming through in this area of the northeastern United States in Pennsylvania vicinity. We've got clouds. It's not as bad as it was earlier.
It's very windy.
It's windy,
yeah.
But look, I see some blue skies, but they have a thunderstorm warning through a lot of the area.
Earlier, when we first started the show, we just had a really bad batch of wind coming through, and the video feed was kind of funky on Twitch. Found out that Amazon was the one that actually had the issues.
Amazon
and
had
our
issues?
fabulous, Brian, who just called in, our old IT guy, he was the one that informed him that Amazon was down all over the place.
Wow.
That's going to be a tragedy for Robin if we don't get 2 or 3 packages delivered today.
Yeah. Imagine if that all happens during the NFL draft.
Where things go down?
Where things go down.
Go down hard?
Yeah.
It would be a travesty. Now, Jay's going to join us here in a couple of minutes, right? Is he calling us or are we calling Jay?
He's calling
Wright?
us.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Jay
he's
Wright,
calling
Villanova coach, will join us. I mentioned the big Tiger thing on Monday. You going to watch that, Harry?
What, the Fox thing?
It's really a TMZ show.
Okay.
They're outsourcing to TMZ for their shows on Fox. What's usually on Monday nights at 9 o'clock on Fox?
What is this? Probably the stuff that didn't make the other 7 episodes.
This is stuff
just
that
like
did not
cutting
air.
room floor stuff.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I think it's the guy who smokes like a carton of cigarettes during the show. You notice? He's like the agent guy that they hired to be his PR guy to put together a reality show.
Oh, yeah, he did the TV show.
Yeah, the guy was famous. He used to bring
had
animals on all the big TV.
And he always had the hat on, right?
Yeah, and he kept smoking. He was like the smoking man from the original X-Files.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he actually kind of looked like him, too, now that you think about it.
Yeah.
That's good X-File knowledge right there.
I'll probably watch it.
You have to.
I mean, what is it, an hour?
It's an hour show, I guess. Is Harvey, who's going to host it if it's a TMZ show? Harvey Levin, is he going to host?
Maybe. Or maybe one of those, younger guys that
that sit around and can't do it. Even they have to do it remotely
Harvey
now.
Levin has done some really great specials, though.
He's a lawyer.
He was.
He was on the People's Court.
Yeah.
When I lived in L.A., he would set up outside on the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica at a corner doing all those interviews that you would see between the People's Court. And they would show the actual episode to people. They were like screening, hey, you want to be on the People's Court? And you'd stand there, and then they'd show you the trial on tape. And then they'd go to Harvey for the reaction from the people on the street. Do you think that person's guilty? And that's what he did. And the guy is a genius, man.
Yeah,
he did everything.
I think he was, what was it called? Oh, Objectified? Is that what it was?
Yeah, he did some
he did a couple specials, Objectified. And I was a little skeptical at first because of the TMZ formatting. And I was like, he's sort of off the cuff. But his interview specials were really good.
The thing I got to give him credit for is they break sports stories.
Oh, yeah, they
really do.
You're absolutely right.
They scoop some of the best sports reporters and investigators, whatever, around the country. They get all the good stuff.
And in the beginning, people mocked them, And we know it's for 3 Mile Zone.
Mm-hmm.
So TMZ means 3 Mile Zone around Hollywood.
Right.
And that's where and the people who work for them were just people with cell phones.
Is it 3 or 30?
No, I think it's 3 Mile. I think it started out as maybe 3 Mile Island. I don't know if it was 30. It was 3 because everything happened in Hollywood. It was Hollywood-based.
Kind of that radius, yeah.
Exactly. And so people with phones
30.
at the airport.
It was at 30 miles.
30 miles on. Okay. See, my geography's bad. But anyway, people would be we'd see it all the time at LAX.
Right.
Robin and I would fly in, and then we'd see Ice Cube there, and there would always somebody with a phone.
Like John Clark would be there.
Yeah, except these were great. They weren't actual reporters. These were just regular people with phones, and they'd go up and ask. One time somebody asked me a question. They recognized me in the airport.
Yeah? Were you on
I have nothing to say.
Did they film you?
I pulled the coat over my eyes like the mob guys did, and I walked out of the airport into my waiting car, and I got the hell out of there. But no, anyway, but they do a great job. And the TMZ sports department, because a lot of people will feed them stuff. You know what I mean? It's like having sources like Adam Schefter and Woj and all those guys who are great.
Well, a lot of those people are like valets and like the people that work in restaurants, bartenders, waiters, and so forth.
Or the security guys that like happen to see something on the elevator that happens and says, you know what, this is worth more selling this video than staying at the job.
Or, for example, the Ray Rice video in the hotel.
Yeah.
It was somebody that worked there in security who saw that footage of Ray Rice in the elevator a few years ago and then gave that to TMZ.
Exactly.
Right.
But you didn't mention the Ray Rice in particular. So that's why I was giving you a specific. Okay. No, you're right. I mean, that's who they get the information from. Some security guard making $15 an hour says, hey, I got this tape here.
Right.
What am I going to do with it? Should I trade it in for what's behind door number 2? Or should I sit here and say, now you could disagree with it or not, but they get it done here. And you're absolutely right. Meanwhile, I have breaking news from Connecticut. This is legitimate breaking news. Non-essential businesses in Connecticut like bars and dine-in restaurants will not reopen before May 20th now.
What?
The governor of Connecticut has just announced bars, dine-in restaurants shut down until May 20th, according to the governor, Ned Lamont.
So that's an extra 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Wow.
Because, mostly everybody shut down basically till the end of April.
Right. And now there are other states individually. We talked about New Jersey earlier. And now Ned Lamont says, and that's right before Memorial Day weekend. You think he thought and said, okay, I don't want to make it go all the way through Memorial Day.
Right.
How about let's take it up to May 20th? That's very interesting. Meanwhile,
May 20th is a Wednesday.
This will be really interesting to see because we have one control group, as they say in scientific studies. Sweden is not adhering to any lockdown whatsoever. They're not doing nothing.
Right.
They're allowing every business to stay open. People are not being warned to do anything at all. And scientists are predicting that they are going to just have a huge surge all of a sudden.
Really?
But it'll be interesting to see what happens afterwards, how much of a difference in the long run it makes for Sweden, who's not doing anything, and then the various degrees throughout the world, each country something slightly different as to how it affects in the end run.
Yeah, May 25th is Memorial Day.
Yeah, so that's the Wednesday going into Memorial Day weekend.
Correct.
In Connecticut. So May 20th, according to the governor, everything's shut down.
Wow.
And bars and restaurants.
I wonder if they do that here.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, that's why we wait. I mean, every day something new happens, and people are like, I need answers now. I need to know. You don't know because this is changing every day. That's the thing that bugs me the most about it. The media overreacts, and then people overreact, and I know more than you do, and I'm an expert, and I'm not a doctor, but let me tell you, I know this. Nobody knows. So I just wait for the data to come in, and that's what they do for all these models. They've been way wrong on these things, Harry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, not even just like close.
No, I know.
I mean, way off.
On the fatality estimates.
And on how many hospital beds they were going to need, how many hospital rooms. And they've been way, way overboard. I'd rather go overboard. I said this yesterday. I'd rather them tell us the worst-case scenario so when it's not as bad, we don't feel as bad, rather than lowballing it, and then it becomes really catastrophic, and people are saying, why did they lie about it?
Well, that's the way we are here.
Yeah.
You know, like we want the bad news first. Like you say, I got good news and I got bad news.
Yes.
It's like, give me the bad news first.
Yep.
Or let's overestimate, like, the worst-case scenario.
Well, isn't that what the weathermen do, or weathermen and women do all the time?
Yeah, but they're using computers. They don't
They
make
have
up
models,
the forecast.
too.
They have, but they always.
I always wait for the European models.
Right,
I said
right.
that yesterday,
Yeah.
too.
They
got
always
the weather
go overboard, though.
No, they don't. They were relying on the difference between weather and viruses. You can't see the virus. You can see with satellite imagery. You can see storm systems coming in.
But
you
they
can see
always
the low pressure.
overpredict. Like they.
Are you ripping weather people now?
Yeah, because
you think Sheena Parveen's ever going to call into the show again?
Sheena Parveen's doing weather in San
I know.
Diego.
The easiest job on earth.
But schools immediately
Seriously.
close down based upon the predictions that the weather.
The snow, fall.
They close all the schools. Everything gets shut down, and then when nothing happens, people get annoyed at them.
People get annoyed at everything. That's why they listen to the show, because there's a calm here. Even Jim Nance, you heard it earlier today.
Oh, we put him. How did he phrase that at the end?
I forget, but it was really touching.
Yeah,
I was almost crying.
Yeah.
I'm serious, because people thought that's an act.
We put him in a good place.
In a good
or
place.
something. I think
Isn't that a show that you watch on CBS, The Good Place?
The good.
The Happy Place, The Good Place, The Good Wife. I don't know what these shows. I don't watch any of these stupid shows.
No.
Speaking of great shows on CBS, what's the great show on CBS with our good friend David Boreanaz? It's a military show.
Oh, Navy SEALs.
No, it's not Navy SEALs.
Or it's just called SEALs.
SEAL Team.
SEAL Team.
SEAL
Thank
Team.
you.
SEAL Team.
It's about Navy SEALs, but
Yes.
it's called SEAL Team.
How about David Boreanaz? He goes from show to show, and every single one of them is a hit.
Right.
First of all, it was Buffy, right?
The
and then
Vampire
Angel,
Slayer.
and then he became Angel was a
as
was
a
spin-off.
character on Buffy, and then he got his own show called Angel, about Angel.
And then he got Bones, which ran forever.
Yeah, that was really.
And then
good.
as soon as Bones ended, he got this SEAL Team show. Now I think it's in its third season, man. The guy
It's
is
because he's fantastic.
He is. He's a great guy. We're going to get him on in the future.
And he's a huge Flyers fan.
Yes. You know, when he wore in one of the
that was very
episodes
cool.
of SEAL Team, he wore one of those Oscar Strong shirts.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, 'cause he's a big Flyer fan. Even though he's from Buffalo and lives in L.A., he became a big Flyer fan because his dad.
Well, when he
grew
lived
up
here for a
in
long
Philadelphia
time,
when his dad Dave Roberts was the weatherman here at Channel 6 in Philly.
And of course, Oscar Lindblom battling cancer right now.
Yes, and
As a
there's
member of
tribute
the Flyer.
shirts for him, and he wore it on SEAL Team on one of the episodes. That's cool stuff. Meanwhile, we're waiting for Jay Wright to join us.
5:30 is
so
when
2
he's
minutes
coming in,
away.
so.
You're getting the 2-minute warning has now been given to all the stations down the line here on the Sirius XM radio network. On Sirius XM 211 on Twitch. Twitch stream is active. No, Oscar Strong was a 70s porn star name? I did not know. I think somebody's making that up.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Come on, man. Let's see what else. Yeah, we have the Tito's here. We haven't opened it up. We're going to do it tomorrow.
No, we opened that.
No, we opened it last week.
No, I mean we're not pouring it today.
Oh,
no, we opened it on was that
Monday.
Monday? That was Monday.
It was our
I'm thinking that's last
celebratory
week.
kickoff.
Jack in the Back sent that in with Ruth's over there in New Jersey, and we did it to celebrate the first show. So we'll do it to celebrate the end of our first week tomorrow.
Right.
Because that's no carbs. So I can drink vodka,
right.
but I can't put cranberry in it. So I'm going to have to go straight vodka on the rocks. Or is there anything I can put in there that has no carbs?
Well, club soda.
Yeah, you can do club soda.
Can't do tonic.
No, I can't do tonic water, but I can do club soda.
Yeah, that's why I do club.
Yeah.
Because it's no sugar.
Did you know that tonic has more sugar than any other soda? It's like triple.
No, I didn't know that. But club soda is fun. And I'm going to bring you guys a bunch of keto baking and cooking supplies.
Oh, you have that supplies?
I've got a bunch, a
sweet.
ton of it.
Because you did it. Because
we
Robin's
did
baking.
it, and we didn't use it all because it didn't work for us.
Well, it's
So
working
we
at
failed.
15. I get to 15 pounds, and then I can't get over that hump.
Yeah.
I can't get below 205. And I went from 200 to
220 to 205.
220
Yeah.
to 205, and then I can't get down below that for some reason.
Well, I was stuck on one for 2 weeks, and you kept losing weight, and then I finally got over that hump. You just got to wait. You're
All
too
right.
impatient.
Impatient? No, I'm not. I'll tell you a guy who's really patient, and now more than ever, is Jay Wright, the head basketball coach at Villanova University. What is this now, 19 years as a coach? Is that how long it's been, Jay?
Yeah, man. How are you, Tony? 19 years at Villanova.
Wow. That's almost as long as I've been in radio. Actually, it's actually not.
No.
You know, because the first time I met Jay Wright, you know what he said to me? I used to listen to you on WFIL radio when I was a kid.
Oh, man.
WFIL 56 AM, man. I definitely did.
And you know what? I keep getting older now, and you stay the same age, Jay. I mean,
No way, man.
Oh, man, you look
Still,
phenomenal.
Hey, still nobody does Friday night high school football like you, though, buddy.
No.
Back in the day, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Harry Mays here with us, Tony Bruno and Jay Wright. We're talking, and obviously, you know, I've read the quotes, and you're in the same situation as the rest of us. You can't go out and recruit, and you know, and you made the quote I saw the other day. You know, everybody's acting like it is a big deal. So you're not taking this as, oh my God, I can't do my job. What am I going to do?
No, I mean, we're all nuts. You guys, you and Harry, are crazy. We're sports all the time, and we're basketball all the time. It's something I talk to our guys about all the time. Like when we're at, Christmas night, we're in the gym practicing, or New Year's Eve or something, and I tell our guys, if your family or your girlfriend or someone's telling you you're crazy, what are you doing in there on Christmas night? They're right. Like we're the crazy ones. They are normal. They are right. I said we always have to keep that in perspective, and this is one of those times. Like, I mean, we're all going crazy because we missed March Madness and everything. But in the big scheme of things, tough luck, man. Too bad for us. There's people dying. This is way more serious than our March Madness.
Talking to Jay Wright. I know one of your players who just got the Dr. J Award for the best small forward in the league, Sadiq Bey. It's his birthday today, by the way. And now he's in the same boat here. He can't go out and work out for anybody. How much is this hurting him? I know, again, taking all things aside, for a young man like him who's going to go into the draft and obviously be drafted, how much does this hurt him not being able to go and work out for teams, or will it hurt him at all?
It's going to be really interesting, Tony. Like a lot of situations we're all going to be in here that are going to be unusual. He and Jeremiah Robinson Earl, Sadiq is a sophomore, and now he wins the national small college, the national small forward of the year, national player of the year at the small forward position, which is the Julius Erving Award. He wins that. So you think he'd be positioned pretty well for the draft, and that draft now might not happen until August or September. And we'll be back. We'll be back in summer school in June. Whether we're on campus or online, we're still going to be taking classes, and he still will not know where he is in the draft. And the NCAA rule is that you have to decide by June 3rd whether you're going to come back or not. Now, the NBA hasn't said when their draft is going to be, so I'm assuming when the NBA does come up with their plan, the NCAA is going to have to adjust and give these guys a lot longer, to make their decision. They might have to tell these guys, you have until August to decide whether you're going to be in the draft. So we have two, Sadiq and Jeremiah Robinson are both in that situation. So it's really fluid, like everything else that we're going through right now.
Hey, Jay, what are the rules right now with, contact or, communication with your current players, and how has this affected also your recruiting?
Yeah, so everything's changed, man.
Yeah.
So recruiting, the NCAA has established a dead period until the end of this month, which means the only thing we could do is communicate with recruits, via phone, text, FaceTime, Zoom, something like that. They cannot come to our campus. We cannot go out to see them play or go out and visit them. So that's what a dead period is, and we have that until the end of the month. Which affects those guys a lot, because this is a time, especially with the real high-level players in the spring before their senior year, they usually take visits and have a pretty good idea where they're going to look, and then we have a pretty good idea who we're looking at, and they go out and play in the summer, which, again, we don't know if we're going to be able to do that. And usually a lot of the top players are ready to make their decisions by the end of August, but that's going to change again, too. And as far as our guys, we're doing the same thing. We just had a Zoom meeting, team meeting yesterday, and, we're communicating with them and giving them workouts and everything, but they have to be on their own. They can't come back to campus, and we can't go out to see them.
Now, we're also seeing, Jay, that a lot of players are now in this period where they're able to transfer or move.
Oh, the transfer portal.
The transfer
it's
portal.
Exploded.
It has exploded. Yeah. How is that affecting you? And is this something you were aware of and something you were concerned about? Because obviously you don't lose many kids in the transfer portal at Villanova. How is that going to affect coming into next season for these kids?
You know what, Tony? The transfer issue, I think, is one of the biggest issues facing college basketball and college football. Now, other people would argue that the name, image, and likeness issue is the biggest. I don't think so. The number of transfers is just getting really disruptive, I think, college basketball in particular. Because, guys just, it's just crazy. Even, Ivy League teams are losing guys after their fourth year because they're not allowed to play a fifth year at an Ivy League school, and teams are recruiting players off of other teams. And now, with this period where at least guys are on campus at this time. So if other teams are recruiting guys off your campus, at least you're there with them, and you can at least talk with them. Now those guys are home, and everybody's recruiting everybody. It's really the wild, wild west right now. Fortunately, we haven't lost anybody in that sense. A number of guys have contacted us that want to transfer. We are looking at a couple guys. It's not really something I like a lot, but if we find a particularly unique guy like Eric Pascal, his coach got fired,
right.
So
Fordham.
He's stuck at school without his coach, and his coach happened to be my best friend, and that helped. But usually we don't get that involved with it. But more and more, there's so many good kids, and then we try to talk them into going back first, and then when we realize they're not going to do it, we see if they'll fit our culture.
Hey, Jay, what were your expectations for your squad going into the tournament this year? Of course, obviously, no Big East tournament. They shut down the first game after the first half, and, of course, no NCAA. What were your expectations for your squad? And then who was the team that you thought, the two teams that might have played Monday night in the championship had they played?
We had a really unique year. If you remember back, our first game of the year, we played at Ohio State. It was a veteran team, and we got hammered, and we looked like a bunch of freshmen and sophomores, and we told the guys after that game, we said, look, we have to learn from this, and we have to grow up, and we have to get better, and they have to learn how to deal with success. They've got an experienced team. Everybody's got a challenge, and everybody's season is all about handling your particular challenges, and our young guys just really got good to a point where we tied for the Big East championship, and at the end of the year we won 8 out of 9, and we had won at Seton Hall, at Georgetown, and we're playing really good basketball. Our two freshmen, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, Justin Moore, were starting to play like veterans. Our juniors were starting to play like leaders. Colin Gillespie got healthy. Jermaine Samuels got healthy. We felt like we were firing on all cylinders. It was kind of weird. We had our practices. We had our walkthrough the morning of Thursday. We were going to play DePaul. We were ready to go. We were having lunch, ready to play that night, and then bang. They said Big East tournament's off. We got in the bus, drove, and by the time we got to Philly, they said NCAA tournament's off. So we really felt like we could make a run. We really felt like we were primed and experienced and had gotten the experience we needed. In terms of the teams, I thought Gonzaga was really good. They could have been playing deep, and we played Kansas and we beat Kansas. But one of the things that I'm sure people would have started talking about later, but the kid Garrett, who I think is one of the unsung heroes on their team, he got hurt late in the first half, and he didn't play in the second half. And I thought that was a big part of the game. Now, we played well, we won, but I thought they were capable of winning it too.
Talking with Jay Wright. Now, Jay, of course, the big question is sweatsuits, or you don't have to dress up anymore now. Do you still put the nice suit on and a nice shirt just to feel like you're back on the floor?
Why did they say that? Did they make some rule I don't know about? I didn't know.
The Governor Wolf just said that you can't wear suits anymore.
You can't wear a suit over $500. Now, if you have something sitting around in the closet, you got something old, you can't go out and get a suit made right now. Go up to Ventresca's or all these other great clothiers.
Oh, that's good.
But they can't be double-breasted either,
No,
Tony.
no double-breasted.
Single-breasted only.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good. Hey, honestly, I'll tell you, honest to God, if it wasn't a tradition and I felt like I had to represent Villanova, I do think that we should coach in sweatsuits. We really should.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. We sweat. We get in those huddles. The guys are sweating all over us, and you're turning your suit into the dry cleaners after every game. I would be a proponent, but I get dressed because of the tradition. And my tailor, Gabe D'Annunzio, he keeps telling me, we got a reputation we got to uphold. I said, not me, it's you. You make the suits. I'm fine. I can wear a sweatsuit. You got the reputation. You're doing this for you.
You're right, and plus on the sweatsuit, it doesn't have D'Annunzio's name on the front. It's got like a company that will pay you to wear the suit.
Exactly.
Now, are you a Nike guy? Now, what's Villanova? You're a Nike, or what's your affiliation? What do you guys wear at Villanova?
Yeah, and the way it is now, Tony, like they pay the entire university, so we don't anymore get. I'm sure we get some of that money within our salary, but they sponsor an entire athletic department, and we've been Nike forever, and. So, I mean, yeah, we would have nice sweatsuits. Like when we play those tournaments, whether we're in Puerto Rico or the Bahamas or something, and we could just wear nice, like golf pants and a golf shirt. I love that. I would do that. I swear I would do that.
That's the one thing I missed about the Final Four, It's like the biggest coaching convention of the year.
Oh,
Everybody had sweatsuits on with their logos. The small college guys in the lobby, the all-lobby team, as Raph and all those guys used to say.
Yeah.
All these coaches looking for a gig.
A lot of them have resumes, too.
Yeah, they have their resumes in their little briefcases, right, Jay?
That is a wild scene. And for anybody somebody should do a documentary on that, man.
Mm-hmm.
People wouldn't believe that. I remember when Jerry Tarkanian used to be in the lobby from Thursday till Monday morning at like 4 a.m. He never left. He loved hanging with coaches and just talking. So many, and I like that. So coaches love hanging and BSing with coaches. Mm-hmm. My wife does a great skit on that. How we all get around the circle, and we all lean in, listen for the punchline, then we all fall back and laugh at the punchline. She's like, I've been hearing the same jokes for 30 years. You guys laugh like you never heard it before.
Yeah, Tim Brando and I would call it the all-lobby team. We would pick out which coaches really stood out and were the all-lobby squad at the convention, at the Final Four weekend, man.
Exactly, man.
Well, Jay, it's always great talking to you, man. Hopefully this thing ends and we can all get back to business by next fall. We're trying to be optimistic. I'm hoping there's reports now that we may play football in the fall. So if there are people who are thinking that football could come back in the fall, certainly college basketball, the NFL, and all the fall leagues should be feeling a little bit better each day as we see the numbers and the curve we have been talking about starting to go the other way.
Flatten.
Yeah, we're going to flatten the curve. I'm
Right.
flattening mine. I'm on a diet. Yeah, I'm on mine. I lost 15 pounds, so I flattened my curve a little bit at least.
Attaboy. Attaboy. Hey, good luck to you guys. Congratulations, Tony. Keep it going, Harry.
Thanks.
Jay Wright, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put your hands together for the great Jay Wright.
Now, I was going to ask him, we ran out of time, is he growing the coronavirus beard? Because everybody seems to be not shaving now.
Yeah.
You know?
I did ask him about the suits in the wardrobe.
Oh,
He
yeah.
got a plug in for his tailor.
Right. Yeah.
And then he said to his tailor, hey, you're the guy who's missing out on all this time.
He'd rather wear sweats.
Exactly. Harry wears the sweats.
Well,
No, he's got the
no,
jeans
I-
and the...
It's just a fleece, man. You know?
215-462-TONY is our number. 215-462-8669. Open lines. You want to check on in. This is your opportunity. You call, we talk, then we decide. It's Tony and Harry, Sirius XM 211.
Josh in the 067 says, I just want to see my message here.
Where?
Well, so it is there.
What?
It's there, Josh.
It's there. I see it. What message other than that you wanted to see your message? Harry is pissed Amazon sweats do not get delivered to Tony's house. They could.
We're getting wine delivered.
You know what
carry
we should
the
do?
virus.
We need
We're going all the way to 600, 59.
Okay.
I'm gonna get
I'm going to fire the music
At 59 straight up?
Straight up, and then I'm going to fade it down so we're clear right at the top.
Okay.
You know what we should have made as part of our swag that people or merchandise? People
What? Merch.
get the merch is we should have a velour Tony Bruno show
Sweatsuit, right?
Yeah.
Like
So
a
that
college, how the college coaches.
Yes.
You've been to the Final
Oh, yeah.
Four. You've been to these
Couple
tournaments.
times.
We would wear those.
The image
right?
that I have is Bob Huggins.
Yeah.
His 1 year that he spent at Kansas State. That
Yep.
was one of the Final Fours I went to. He's decked out head to toe in a purple sweat, solid purple.
Yeah.
He looked like Barney. Okay, and he's sitting in this leather couch that sunk down. I mean, and he couldn't get out of the couch. He couldn't get up.
Well, the
I mean,
velour,
he's
that's
knocking,
slippery.
He was knocking drinks the whole
Oh,
night.
yeah.
And he couldn't get up. He had to have two of his players or assistants or something to help him out.
out.
He was awesome.
He was
Big
a purple
Kansas
puddle.
State on his back, and he was all purple, man.
I think we could rock the sweatsuit. People would love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What color would it be, Tony?
It would have to be a
blue.
Fila.
It'd have to, be an off-brand.
Yeah.
Maybe we can bring back Dave and Barry's. Remember
Dave-
that?
yes,
Dave
I
and
do.
Barry's. No, but I'm talking about no, that's Benny. He's dead.
But we have a graphic designer now who is helping out. He's in Virginia, right? He's in Virginia. Has a graphic design company, and he said any design we want. Boom. He also has merchandise
I
available.
have breaking news as we come out. And there's only one place that can get credit for this, Harry. The Dow up again today.
Yes.
Look.
It is the single best week since 1974.
Wow.
And what week is happening? What happened this week?
There's only one
The
thing.
debut of our show.
Exactly right.
There's only one thing that it can be given credit for this.
I also
The
have
Tony
a
Bruno.
Tua Tagovailoa update.
We have a Tua Tagovailoa?
Yeah.
Say that again.
Tua Tagovailoa.
You have to think about it, though.
Vailoa. Oh, I know.
The approachable style. Are you guys approachable?
Hell yeah.
Me, not so much.
And you see, look what John McMullen tweeted. He tweeted that.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on Sirius XM 211.
You know, it's not my style to brag about anything. I'm not one
No.
of these self-aggrandizement guys.
You don't toot your own horn.
No, I don't. But, you know, when you look at trends, you know, we do that. We have data. We look at trends and models and all this other stuff. But the breaking news this afternoon, and it's good news for everybody. You don't have to be a Wall Street executive or tycoon. Ladies and gentlemen,
Dean in Clearwater likes this news.
Exactly right. It is now Thursday. It is Thursday, and guess what? The S&P 500 on the New York Stock Exchange jumped more than 1% today, capping off its best week since 1974, ladies and gentlemen. And you look at the reasons why.
74, that's when Henry Aaron broke the record.
Exactly.
This week.
That was going into that 75 Masters that we were talking about earlier. One of the great Masters of all time with Jack Whitaker and the guys.
Yeah, he was on the broadcast team then.
Exactly. So there it is. 1974, the S&P 500 up as Wall Street's coming back, ladies and gentlemen. And there's only one thing that started this week. When you look around,
it's
no coincidence.
We know because everything's shut down. We know for a fact.
Bernie bailed yesterday. That had no effect on the stock market. This show went on the air Monday, and every single day we've seen an uptick. And we want to thank ourselves and everybody else out there listening. And if you'd like to thank us, in 1974, I was not playing radio in my mom's basement when I stuffed the animal audience. No, in 74, I was already on the air for 3 years and had won several awards for reporting, for news reporting.
Now, what station back then?
WFIL. I won a news reporting award there. Then I moved to Birmingham, and I won documentary awards, and I won investigative reporting awards in news, not sports.
And you were also in the Tower with Bear Bryant,
Damn right I was. And Ralph Shug Jerton down there in Auburn, Alabama.
Yeah.
Down there in Shug Jordan Stadium. Let's go to Jack in the back is on the line here. He's got to be excited. Down there in South Jersey somewhere, I think. Jack, what's going on, man?
This ain't Jack in the back. I thought you said you had Jack in the back. This is Larry from Fort Richmond.
Who the hell said Jack in the back?
It says Jack in the back.
Yeah, well, you said Jack in the back was on there. I figured, well, when they answered, I thought it was him.
I did too. I'm sorry, I didn't. I don't answer the phones, and so that had Jack in the back on there. And it's not my style to rip Mike, the great Joe C. or Joe Krause, because they've been doing a great job in the first week. So, Larry, how are you? I know you contacted Robin last night and said you were excited, and it's great to hear from you again, my friend.
Yes, now that I've finally got a license in the car, I can't go anywhere.
Exactly. That's how it happens.
Unbelievable. 3 years without a car, without a license. Now I get one back, and I can't go anywhere.
That's all right. You're better off. You're better off not going outside.
Yeah, I went
Stay
out
home.
This morning. I had to catch up on supplies. The first time out in a week and a half.
Where'd you go?
Where'd
you go?
I went to CVS, and then I went to ShopRite, where they're letting only so many people in at a time.
Well, that was my question. Like, how many? Like, how long did it take you?
Oh, when I got there, I went right in. So I got really lucky, because I go there when it opens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Robin and I went out last week. We went out on a Friday morning because there's senior citizens
hours.
Right, like 7 to 8 or 8 to 9
a.m.
Yeah.
And we went in there, and there's a line outside. There was a line outside waiting for 9 o'clock for the regular people. And I strolled in there like, hey, man, I'm bad.
It was like you were at the club.
Yeah, it was hey, get out of my way. Get out of my way. And then they're like, no, there's no way you're over 60 or 65.
I got bottle service in here, man.
Exactly right, man. You know who I am? Would you like to see my ID? I'll run right through the line. Of course, they don't have any free food out anymore either, which is a bigger outrage.
And then I'm like, I'm with him.
Right.
Then I had 10 people trying to sneak in with me behind me. They were grabbing on.
They were part of your entourage, right?
Seniors are in demand now.
I'm telling you, man. There's nothing wrong with being a senior.
No.
They're active. I'm active, too, you know.
Yeah, it's great getting old, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. I just want to say I'm glad to see all three of you together again. It's really great. Now, if I get the remote, I finally get a car, have a breathalyzer in it, but that's okay,
That's all right. Harry's going to have one in there soon, too, if he keeps this up.
But real quick here, Larry, Play Action Reel on Twitch says, the sign said, okay, boomer, entrance.
Exactly right.
Okay. All right, Larry.
Okay.
Thanks.
Nice to hear you guys and see you guys. I can't wait till we get out this crap and I can go actually see you face to face.
Exactly.
You have a good day.
You too.
Nice to see you again, and I can listen to you again.
Thank you, Larry. You be safe out there, man. Everybody be safe out there. UCFU all night. UCFU all night on Twitter says, Tony and Harry, forget the Dow. Can you guys pump up the Sirius stock right now? Now, if I buy Sirius stock now, predicated on us driving up the Sirius price because people are now all subscribing again that we're back on, is that insider trading?
I don't know.
Will I get yelled at as hey, I'm going to go out and buy Sirius? What is it at right now?
Well, it would be
Sirius
like
stock?
betting on your own team.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
That's Pete Rose. That didn't do much for him.
But the difference is I'm not going to bet against my team.
Right.
And Pete didn't either, but that's another story for another era.
Yeah, because you wouldn't do anything to drive the Sirius stock down.
Absolutely
You would
not.
only try to get it going up.
Exactly.
We have another call here. We got Blind Mike.
Up there in Shamokin, Pennsylvania. Mike, how are you, pal?
Yo, guys, what's up, man?
What's
Good to hear you guys together again. Harry, what's up, man? I was tweeting you a couple times.
What's going on, man?
Did you get? Not much, man. I moved up here about 3 years ago, and it's a shock.
Shamokin?
Yeah.
That's in the coal
I had
regions.
to. I couldn't find an apartment fast enough in Pottstown, affordable enough. I had to move. And so I moved up here with a best friend and his wife, and I've been up here ever since. I haven't been able to leave, but and now I really can't leave. I must have been nuts. I wanted to come home there at the beginning of the month, and it was like, nah. One of my roommates said to me, Mike, you might want to hold off on that because Philly's...
Now is everything, I'm assuming everything's shut down in Shamokin, right? Because there's not a lot of stuff in Shamokin.
Oh, yeah. I can't even walk up to the Wendy's drive-thru, which is half a block from me, to get a burger. Because, well, they're not going to let some blind dude walk up to the drive-thru window. I mean, they should because it's... What else? I mean, I can't drive a car, number one, and you can't go in the store, so what are you going to do?
Right.
So now I have to order on,
delivery.
Order it on the app.
Grubhub.
The
Grubhub,
or whatever the hell it is. And all the... it's funny, with that one day you tweeted out about that steak tour shutting down. I tweeted back, I was like, is this a joke? I said, I need my Crown Royal, man. That's crazy.
It's not a joke, man. This is serious business.
I know.
It's serious.
But,
we got to get the Wonder Pets to do a new line for us. This is serious.
Well, here's one for you. If the great Keith Jackson was around when I heard that college football maybe back, I thought, oh, no, he's rumbling, tumbling down the sideline, and coronavirus is knocked out on this fourth quarter with 5:45 to go in the national championship.
Well, you got to be careful up there now, man. Mike, it's good to talk to you again.
I'm trying, man. It's tough, man. I want to get home. My birthday's coming up. I want to come. All that's out the door.
I know my birthday's coming up too. I don't want my damn birthday canceled this year. Or maybe I do. I'll just stay 67.
Well, yeah, then you don't get older.
I won't become 68. Can I do that? Can we do that now?
I think it's official.
Beautiful. Now, the faux Andrew Luck is checking in now. He hasn't been active.
On Twitter?
Yeah, you know the faux Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. He says, I don't buy this 72% of Americans figure for a second because Darren Ravel is tweeting that 72% of Americans say they would not attend a game before a coronavirus vaccine was available, according to a new Hall Sports poll just released. Among sports fans, the poll found that 61% of fans said they would not attend. And we've been hearing that a virus, an actual vaccine is not going to be ready for a year and a half. Mm. Do you believe that people will not go to games?
I have no idea. To me, I just want to watch them on TV anyway.
Yes.
I mean, unless I go with a media credential, I typically haven't gone to games.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. I got my Google Pictures sent a notice today that 1 year ago today, you know where I was? Citizens Bank Park.
Oh, okay. Was it opening day?
Well, it was, I think, the day after.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't the actual opening day. It was either the second day or that first weekend. And I was there up in the upper deck with Luigi, who procured some $5 tickets.
Wow.
And we sat up in the air.
I got a THU update here.
We have a THU Tiger Logo.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to call him THU.
I'm going to call him THU, too.
It's like a soccer player.
We don't even have to worry about Big V anymore because he's not
around
right.
Here. He's on a different team.
Yes, exactly.
THU participated in a 1-hour private workout in place of the traditional pro day. I guess Bama might have had their pro day if it were today. And the former Alabama star ran through 55 scripted throws and another 20 throws in a dynamic drill in a private gym. And now that's going to get distributed to all 32 teams.
What about the guy who was throwing the ball to? Did they have to wash his balls and wash his hands?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Alabama's got 3 or 4 receivers that are going to get drafted, too. Maybe they were in the drill, too.
So there you have it, the THU update. So you can do it, or you record everything and you send out the tape.
Yeah.
Unless you doctor it. But who's going to do that? We want to thank our guests and all the great people who tuned in today and joined us. The great. I'm talking about the great guest today, Harry.
Adam Schefter.
Adam
right out of the
Schefter.
gate.
We got into a lot of good stuff with Adam. We also had the great Jay Wright. You just heard him. And don't forget also the great
Jim Nance.
Jim Nance. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the Big Friday extravaganza. Thanks for listening, everybody.
That was a quick lowdown. You can actually leave that up a little bit. I will be off the Twitch. I haven't said goodbye to them yet. Hang on just a second.
Okay, everybody, nice job.
Good job, Joe. Thank you again,
Thanks,
man.
Joe. And everybody that is still on Twitch, thank you so much. Remember to share. Let everybody know. I encourage people to subscribe at some point. We are going to start putting more stuff on our Twitch channel. But you can always see the archive shows, and on Twitch is the only place that you're going to hear us during the commercials. So thank you all, and we'll see you tomorrow. I should have some more music.